Edmonton Sports Talk. My God, I loved it.
My name's Jay Milne. Hashtag Luke.
Our sports update deliverer, the Koob.
I'm Zachary Kubusch, and you're up today.
You know what, Reid?
You might be honest.
All right, here's what's going on in the nasty stuff.
Just got a call from a telemarketer. Decided to answer to see what happened. Well, the same number phoned me yesterday. So then I start to think, wait a minute, is this somebody
That's how they get
or a business or something? Did I order something that I didn't remember? Did I have a medical appointment or update that I forgot about and it's not on call display? So I answered it, and the person seemed quite surprised, by the way, that he had a real individual answering the phone. And then he started reading what sounded like a script, and I said, I'm at work, and I hung up.
I appreciate that.
Am I an evil man for doing that?
No, I'm surprised you even had made it that long.
I guess. I don't know. But once he did, like, if they...
I wonder you should call him back.
They'd just be like, oh, hey, sorry, can you come on my show?
Yeah. You don't have to tell him. He's the one annoying you. You don't owe him anything. Put him
right
on.
away. But here's the thing. Because there was, well, as you know, I got a call... from AHS a couple of weeks ago, I got some routine blood work, and they just call with the update to say, hey, you're alive. It's all good.
It's all good.
And that number for some reason wasn't in my phone, but they called 2 days in a row, and I answered, and they right away, they're like, hi, Reid, so then you know, okay, at least they have my name, right? And it's like, oh, okay, this is something relevant or current in my life, as opposed to like, oh, hi, thanks for taking my call. Blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, okay, I'm at work. I'm sorry. Read the script. Apparently, I don't know if this is true or not. I heard that, and we are going to talk about the Oilers and the Golden Knights. But this was totally unexpected that this would happen, and we've been talking about it. I heard years ago that if you do get a call from a telemarketer and you answer, the worst thing you can do for them, so you have to be feeling a little cheeky, maybe even a little mean that day.
Do tell.
The worst thing you can do is keep them on the phone for as long as possible.
Yes.
Now it's you're wasting your own time as well, right? But
it's worth it.
But yeah, maybe you got a slow day, you got a day off, you're puttering around the house, and you accidentally or on purpose answer your phone. It's a telemarketer, and you're gonna win a truck if you just fill out all these forms. Like, just keep asking them the questions about the truck. You know, yeah. Before I get to that, how many wheels on the truck? You know,
I'd be interested to know the business model behind the telemarketer today.
Yeah,
it used to be,
I know.
Hey, we're calling from Stars Air Ambulance, and it's like, okay, I'll listen. You know, would you like to buy tickets to draws coming up? Okay, maybe I bought in the past, sure. Now it's like calls from banks that you don't even bank with, asking you if you want to open up a savings account.
Well, I think they prey on people who might panic, or maybe, or not equipped maybe in that moment to take a call. I know that my cousin's husband, I just call him my husband as well. They're older than me, but back when this would have been probably in the 80s. Like, he found some part-time summer job. Great. And he showed up, and he was like, oh, this is telemarketing. Because, you answer an ad in the paper, or you think. Sure. And he was like, oh, this is telemarketing. So he thought, okay. So he worked the morning and got a little bit of training, and then he was like, oh, hey, I didn't bring a lunch. I'm just going to go out and find somewhere to grab a sandwich. And he just didn't come back. Didn't bother going back. Yeah.
The best, though, I must say, and I have personal experience in doing this, is when you can get the telemarketer to flip. And you can then say to them, where they start swearing at you. Where they're mad at you.
Yeah, I got a guy mad at me once.
Oh, I love that.
Well, he wasn't a telemarketer. He was...
and they get dirty. They say some bad things.
He was upset. Well, yes. Okay, you actually got someone insulting you?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And like bad. So we went back and forth, F you this, F you this. And it was great. I hung up the phone. I'm like, that was a great call.
Yeah, hopefully they'll never call back.
Yeah, I don't think they will.
And you're saving maybe maybe you saved 5 people that day from him getting to their numbers and making a call.
I was like,
anyway,
your
this was not a prank or a setup for April Fool's Day or anything like that. My phone legitimately rang, and I thought I'll answer it and see what it is. So we are off and running along with Jason Milne. I'm Reid Wilkins on Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton sports. Zachary Kubusch is, don't worry, I know you're eating, Koob. I'll let you finish, is our sports update deliverer and our technical producer. At 8 o'clock tonight, your Edmonton Oilers visit the Vegas Golden Knights. The Oilers are 42-26 and 5. The Golden Knights are 45-20 and 8. Now, Connor McDavid, after we were told on Sunday that he would not travel, did travel, and he was on the ice in a non-contact jersey today. Trent Frederick and Evander Kane, also injured, were on the ice. The lines: Draisaitl between Podkolzin and Arvidsson, Nugent Hopkins between Hyman and Kapanen, Janmark with Skinner and Brown, Henrique with Jones and Perry. On the back end, Wallman with Bush, Nurse with Stetcher, Kulak with Emberson, Calvin Pickard, the expected starter in net. He has never played against the Vegas Golden Knights in his career. The top line for the Golden Knights: Eichel, Barbashev, and Stone. We're going to talk a little bit more about Jack Eichel as we move along throughout the afternoon. McNabb and Theodore is their top D pairing. They got pretty good D. They do have a couple of key players injured. Alex Pietrangelo and Tomas Hertl are both out of action. So 8 o'clock game, 7 o'clock right here on Edmonton Sports Talk. It'll be the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame show with Tom Gazzola and Hernan Salas as the Oilers start a 4-game road trip. Vegas, by the way, looking to clinch a playoff spot tonight. When we get to the Oil Understood, we'll have clips from Knobloch, we'll have clips from Darnell Nurse, and we'll have clips from Calvin Pickard. And Luke Gazdic, who joins us every second week on this show, is scheduled to join us in about 12 or 13 minutes. He's a weekly guest on Edmonton Sports Talk. He alternates between this show
bi-weekly, I believe.
Nielsen show. He's bi-weekly on this show and bi-weekly on
the Nielsen
show with Eric. with Lieutenant Eric.
You've been making me laugh out loud today. You were on fire.
I don't know why.
I don't know.
I felt a little sour earlier today. I don't know why. I was in a bit of a weird mood.
Were you? Well, I mean, we can't deny
Not sure why.
We can't deny all the people in the nasty chat are wishing you a happy birthday.
Yes, thank you. I appreciate that. It is my birthday. I don't want to make too much of a big deal about it. I don't mind people saying happy birthday.
Well, you can't. That would be really curmudgeonly of you.
Yeah.
Right? You have to.
But I don't need it to be a production. And this is not a milestone birthday. I am 51 years of age. Actually, no one made a big deal for my 50th, so I wouldn't, and nor would I want to. But I realize when I know it's someone's birthday, I like to say, hey, happy birthday, or send them a text or whatever.
Who doesn't like a happy birthday?
But we'll talk later on in the show, a little bit of a teaser here about, because I feel in some workplaces or some friend groups, they might do a little more for people's birthdays, things that I would consider overboard. But we'll save that.
Sure.
We'll save that. It's an Oilers game day. Okay, I'll do the clue here, and then we'll do off-topic, and then Luke. Sound good?
Yeah.
We did plan ahead of time, but we sometimes adjust things as we go. The mystery athlete of the game is presented by Hudson's Canada's Pub. You're invited down tonight for the Oilers game. You can also join them Fridays and Saturdays after 9 p.m. Late night happy hour specials. Food starting at $4. Drinks from $3.75. Book your reservation now at hudsonscanadaspub.com. So, you're trying to win a $25 gift card to Hudson's Canada's Pub. We have a new rule here. What did we say? 15 days between wins. So, honor system.
Did we say 15 or did we say a week?
Oh, did we wind up with a week?
I think so.
Oh, well, okay.
It's the Mex Bezozu, Rob from the Grove kind of mixture. Well, maybe Corey B. You know, there's a few people that are onto this.
I'd say you got to give
trying to spread the word.
Yeah, I'd be more comfortable. Actually, my preference would be once a month.
Your name? Oh,
but
wow.
I'm hard. I'm hard boiled. I'm a hard boiled detective.
Koob, can we clip that, please? All right. Do you have clue number 1?
Yes. Okay. And I also have to tell people you have to text your guesses. Text guesses only. You can email us and you can post in the nasty chat, but for the mystery athlete of the game, you must text your guesses to 780-218-9999. That's the River Cree Resort and Casino inbox. River Cree Resort and Casino, home of Tap 25 restaurant, where the entire menu is 50% off 7 days a week from 2 to 5 p.m. maximum 3 guesses per person as well. We have a lot of rules for this contest now, eh? You must balance on one foot while texting in. Trust me, we'll know. The first clue is 2017. First clue is 2017. Now, I did notice I didn't say 2017. I said 2017. Okay? So that's a clue. Someone will get it.
You're crazy.
Well,
I see I'm logged in on the Edmonton Sports Talk account. I'm going to have to change that.
for what?
Well,
Oh, on YouTube.
on YouTube.
Well, that's fine. It's still relevant what you're posting under. By the
It
way, so if you're taking us in on an audio stream, iHeartRadio, TuneIn Radio, we thank you for that. Remember to favorite us or put us as a preference or a preferred station so we always pop up and you're ready to go. If you like listening to podcasts, maybe you're listening to this show on a podcast, thank you. If you're new to the podcast or want to make sure you never miss a show, subscribe to the Reid Wilkins Show, subscribe to the Nielsen Show, EST Afternoons with Hernan and Gager, Two Guys and a Goalie, Oil Stream, Hangout, all our great shows. I'm probably missing some. So make sure you always get those as well. YouTube has the video element as well. And subscribe to Edmonton Sports Talk on YouTube. If you're there right now, click the thumbs up button. Do not delay. Go ahead and click. We want your clicks. We want to build the algorithm, and we don't mind a little bit of instant gratification.
Click, click, click. Must you click? Please, please click. Must you click? You must click. Thumb, thumb, thumb.
All right. So let's
I've
see.
almost got that
You do have it
down.
memorized. He sings that to me off air sometimes. So if everybody got in there and clicked right now, I mean, our goal every day, our ultimate goal is well over 200, but really we try to get to 155 every day because then we feel good about doing a double word of the day. Oh, by the way, here's another little teaser. I have a word for Jay today. I decided every once in a while I got to give you a word.
Okay.
Now I don't have the sound effects.
I'll play it for myself.
So would you give yourself that when you get that tuba guy played in response to something you do, that is the most depressing season.
I can't take it anymore.
Yeah.
Happy birthday, Reid, from a listener and fan in North Carolina. That comes from Ed from Edmonton.
Tar Heel. Is he a Tar Heel? I don't know.
And there's a lot of people chiming in about the telemarketers. And the general sentiment is that they would hand the phone off to their children, to a toddler. Blah, 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 blah.
I would think the telemarketer would know they got to hang up.
Huh? But that's the thing. I want to know more about the business model. Do they get paid as the conversation carries on? You know what? 10-minute call gets you a little bit more,
Yeah.
Saves you from having to call other people.
Jasmine says Aries season, SZN, and she has the little,
Sizzin.
what is that, a
What
ram?
is a sizzin?
I'm not a big astrological signs guy. Like, I know I'm an Aries. I don't know what that means, though.
Well,
Jasmine seems quite into it, perhaps even concerned about my zoological sign. Oh, no, wait, zoology is something else. What's the difference between astrology and astronomy? That nothing annoys an astronomer when you say, oh, you mean like the zodiac?
it's like when people call you and say, how's the podcasting going?
Yeah, that's annoying. Oh, you're a YouTuber.
Yeah.
No, I'm not a YouTuber. I host a show, and one of the platforms on which it is presented is YouTube.
I just had somebody ask me that no less than 2 days ago
What
via
did you say?
text. And I said, well, you can listen to us live every day from 3 to 6. He's like, I know, I listened to you yesterday.
Yeah.
Like
To me, a
We're getting
YouTuber
there.
is like an 11-year-old kid who films himself skateboarding and crashing off his uncle's roof and breaking his own leg. I don't know why that got so sinister.
I don't know.
All right. Our off-topic topic is April Fool's related. It's presented by William Huff. Since 1952, William Huff has provided industry-leading advertising solutions for thousands of valued clients. Their unparalleled customer service, combined with decades of industry expertise and a desire to make every job the very best it can be, is what they call the William Huff Advantage. Visit their website at williamhuff.com or give them a shout, 780-454-4536. We want to know the best prank you've ever seen. It doesn't necessarily have to have happened on April Fool's Day, but preferably.
Or been a part of.
Of, done to you, you did to something else. Like, and again, hopefully we're not talking about things where somebody got hurt or that we're just awfully mean or whatever. I don't think we're going to have time. We'll have to sprinkle these in throughout the show. I have a pretty good one that I witnessed from Lloydminster. I'm sure I've been pranked, but I can't think of it right now. But what happened to you, Jay?
I don't.
Oh, do you don't want to tell?
I got really bad last year to the point where it was a good. My wife and kids love to get me, and I proclaimed on Sunday that I know what's coming up. I'm prepared. Don't even waste your time and effort.
But I feel like you were issuing a challenge. I feel you were playing the role of
Obviously.
the willing role of the bumbling dad, even though you're
Obviously.
not bumbling. Okay.
Now, I didn't know that they would take this to this level. So we're in bed. I went to bed pretty early last night, say 9:30. Was asleep no later than 10.
Yep.
Okay. It's 12:45 a.m. So technically, this is April 1st. And my daughter calls me from the bathroom down the hallway. Dad. And my wife said, Dad, Jake, can you go see what's up? I'm like, yeah, sure. Get out.
Right away, I find this. Well, I'll listen to the whole thing. I feel like they were alarming you. Oh, something's wrong. I'm calling you at 1 a.m. or whatever.
They were.
Yeah, that's not
Those
good.
cheeky,
Yeah.
Anyway, so I go into the bathroom and Grace she's, I don't feel good. And she puts her hand out on me. And I didn't know it at the time. But she had like chocolate pudding in her hand.
Oh, no.
And she rubbed it on me. And then she's like, Dad, I don't feel good. And she's keeled over. And I'm like, is this like an appendicitis? What's going on? Is this going to get serious? And I'm in the middle of sleep.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on. So then I go back into the room and I'm like, April, something. And she's like, what do you have all over your side? And first I look at this side and there's nothing. And then I look at him. I'm like, oh my, what's on me?
All right.
There's chocolate pudding on me. Grace starts laughing. They got me at 12:45 a.m.
Wow.
What?
But this is a little bit of the kid
This
that
is over
cried
the top.
wolf, because now the next time your daughter says, oh, I got a stomach ache, or you think, or there's poop
Yeah,
smeared
good
on
luck with
something,
me helping
you're going to
you
be
out.
like, okay, that's chocolate pudding. Yeah, okay, I know you're not in pain, okay?
So the turkey
Dad's
set
going
her
back to
alarm
bed.
for 12:30. Because when I sleep, I sleep.
And who else was in on this?
April and both the other girls, but they weren't a part of it. Everybody knew about it. I should have known. We don't eat pudding in our house. But April, when she came home from gymnastics with the youngest last night, she had chocolate pudding. I'm like, okay. That's interesting. But I should have known.
I feel a little bad for you.
Oh.
You have a very diabolical family. I hope they're not listening. Well, actually, I hope they are listening.
They are.
I hope they feel my judgment.
It was something. It was something.
Like, of all the I think once when I was a kid, we were having hot dogs, and my mom and I bought like a plastic wiener, and put it in my dad's hot dog.
Yeah.
I remember that. I think there was one year like I brought one of my parents like a drink with a straw, and I'd poked a bunch of pinholes in the straw. And of course, they knew kind of something was up, but go along with it. But I never feigned illness or a fake poop smear.
They did it all, and I was so stunned and asleep still that I really didn't know what was going on throughout the whole thing. They had fun.
So my April Fool's prank, and maybe people heard me reference this on past shows I did years ago. But even if you have heard it before, I think it's one that is worth recapping, but I'll get to that probably sometime this hour, maybe in the next hour. We'll see. We do have Luke Gazdic coming up. Keep your guesses coming into the River Cree Resort and Casino inbox, 780-218-9999 for the Hudson's Canada's Pub Mystery Athlete of the Game First Clue 2017. Luke, in a couple of minutes, here's the Koob with the sports update.
Oilers head coach Chris Knobloch said that Connor McDavid should be back before the start of playoffs, with the Edmonton captain practicing with the team earlier this morning in a non-contact jersey alongside Trent Frederick and Evander Kane as well. The Oilers will be without Matthias Ekholm and Stuart Skinner when they battle the Golden Knights tonight. And to preview the matchup, Tom Gazzola and Hernan Salas go live for the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame show at 7 right here on ES Team. And a few other Canadian teams are in action. The Flames challenge the Hockey Club. Winnipeg and LA have puck drop, while the Canadians go at it with the Panthers. On the court, the Raptors and Bulls tip off. Golden State visits Memphis, while Phoenix and Milwaukee have a date. Seeing 7 games around the association. It's the Jays and Nationals rematch. Toronto beat Washington 5-2 yesterday, and there's a dozen other games around the league, including the Diamondbacks and Yankees going head-to-head. The Royals taking on the Brewers as Houston hosts San Francisco. This sports update is brought to you by Clover Bar Feeds, and Clover Bar Feeds has all the animal feed you'll need. Get top-notch service and selection from their family-owned business. Visit Clover Bar Feeds at 200 Portage Close in Sherwood Park, or call them at 780-467-5014. Luke Gazdic joins Reid Wilkins and Jay Milne after a brief intermission. I'm Zachary Kubusch, keeping you up to date.
2 guys and a goalie.
www.hot-dog.org. Do's and don'ts. Don't send a thank you note following a hot dog barbecue. It will not be keeping with the unpretentious nature of hot dogs. Don't bring wine to a hot dog barbecue. It's beer, soda, lemonade, and iced tea being preferable. And don't ever think there's a wrong time to serve hot dogs.
2 guys and a goalie, presented by GS Construction. Tuesday and Thursday afternoons at noon, only on Edmonton Sports Talk. Your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
Make beer cheap again at the Canadian Brew House. Grab an ice-cold Molson Canadian Stein for just $4.50. That's 25% off. Monday to Friday, open until 7 p.m. Why wait? Grab your crew and make the most of this awesome deal while it lasts.
GCL Diesel has been serving oil country since 1972. From diesel cars to SUVs to pickups. From farm tractors to school buses to a big rig. From diesel generators to forklifts, GCL can test, troubleshoot, and repair all diesel fuel system components. Whether it's injectors, pumps, turbos, filters, or additive, GCL has the parts you need to keep your diesel running the way it should. For genuine diesel parts at wholesale prices, visit GCL Diesel in the West End or online at gcldiesel.com. GCL Diesel. Diesel understood.
Hey Edmonton, ready to take advantage of lower rates and better pricing? South Fort Chevrolet in Fort Saskatchewan has you covered. From rugged trucks to sleek SUVs. And with over 40 years in business, you can trust that you're getting the best deal on your new ride. As the proud title sponsor of the Nielsen Show, EST listeners can drive a little to save a lot with South Fort Chevrolet's transparent pricing and down-to-earth sales team. Visit us today in Fort Saskatchewan or online at southfortchev.com.
Love is in the air.
I love you.
And you? And you? And you! Why choose between your beloved items? Sentinel Storage, keeping your treasures safe to be loved again. Try 4 weeks free. Details at sentinelstorage.ca.
Oil Kings play tonight at 7 at Rogers Place. Also 7 o'clock tomorrow, Wiener Wednesday at Rogers Place. Games 3 and 4 of their best-of-7 first-round series against the Prince Albert Raiders. The series is tied 1-1. We had Oil Kings head coach Luke Pierce on yesterday's show, so we'll see if the Oil Kings can go ahead in that series tonight. They won 3-1 in the first game. The Raiders bounced back with a 6-1 win in Game 2. Oilers tonight on the road against the Vegas Golden Knights, who, let's face it, will not be caught for first in the Pacific Division, but the Oilers in a dogfight with the LA Kings for the second and third spots. Looks like they're going to meet in the playoffs for the 4th consecutive year. Will the Oilers once again have home ice advantage, or will this year's series start in Los Angeles? For further discussion on the Edmonton Oilers and who knows what else, a guy who used to play for the team, now an outstanding broadcaster with Sportsnet, it's our buddy Luke Gazdic checking in. Luke, it's Jay and Reid. How are you doing?
Good, fellas. How you doing?
Doing great. It's good to see you. I'm wondering because, most NHL players are in their 20s. You do have a few guys in their 30s, but they're generally younger men. They're not as seasoned as Jay or I. It's an environment of young guys. It can be, I'm sure, a fun and sophomoric environment at times. Like, is April Fool's Day a thing for hockey players, or is it just constant pranks all the time, regardless of the day?
No, it's tense. It's the opposite. Guys do not want to be joked around with. I'm not even kidding you. Early in my career, I remember saying something to somebody. I think I said, we have a dress and drive today. And he came back like 10 minutes later and was like, don't ever mess with me like that on this day again. I was like, oh, I'm sorry. I apologize. I think a lot of guys have gotten messed with in the past, whether it's like telling you you're getting sent down or traded, whatever it is, waived. And I just generally felt the sense that it was tense. It's so close to trade deadline too. I mean, we're less than a month away from it and stuff can still happen. I don't remember it being like a lively atmosphere. Like you were asking me if there was pranks or anything. I'm like, man, I just remember it being tense. Guys were not in a joking mood at that point.
See, but I feel going up to a guy and being like, coach wants to see you, and I heard him use the word Bakersfield. Like, I feel like that's not a prank, though. I feel like that's just mean.
That's unnecessary.
I feel like, I feel like if I know you guys weren't teammates at the same time, but like if I would have switched yours and Yamamoto's jerseys, so he puts his on and it's like down to his ankles, and you're trying to put. To me, that'd be like a goofy prank.
Did I ever tell you did we tell you the Oscar Clefbaum? Did I ever tell you that story with the different color bucket? We got him all the way out on the ice with, I think, we had to wear certain helmets for certain skates, right? Depending on whatever was coming up. And it was like the simplest, stupidest thing. But I think we were wearing blues that day and we got him to wear white. So for like the first two drills, he is the only guy out there ripping around with a white helmet on. And it was like we were just dying. We were crying, laughing, right? But that's simple. It's fun. Oscar I've told you this 100 times, Cleffy was the best. He always had a smile on his face, good spirited kid. So stuff like that is cool. Yes. For a guy that has showed up every day for his 11-year pro career, thinking that might be the day that he was getting sent down, I certainly didn't want anybody.
Yeah, no kidding. So, okay, I'm gonna just say something here to Jay, because sometimes Jay will ask me something, and as you know, Luke, like I know I have a really cool job, but after a while,
happy birthday, by the way.
Oh,
happy
thank
birthday,
you,
buddy.
After a while, you don't notice everything, or maybe you don't process things that might be interesting to other people. Because sometimes I'll mention something to Jay, and Jay will be like, "Wait, what a minute? That's how it works." I'm like, "Yeah, we got to do this." So I'll tell you this, and I found this interesting when I started going to Oilers practice day after day. If the Oilers are practicing at home and their next game is a road game, they will wear the white road helmets. And if any socks or stuff like that is different, did they do that? They did that when you played. Like if you got like a Sunday, they would have worn the white. I've noticed this. Like if the next game is a road game, they're wearing their road stuff, even though they're practicing at home.
On game day skates, you're wearing your road stuff, is what you're saying.
No, but no. Like the practice is okay. When the Oilers do a practice and fly.
Oh, yeah.
They wear the road stuff on the last practice at home before a road game.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
It's just a weird tidbit.
Stuff was different for us too. Like these guys practice and flies, I'm pretty sure is just at the community rink next door. And then, you know, Langer and Harry are packing up the bus. Buddy, we were driving up to Leduc. We were practicing at the Leduc Community Center and then getting on the plane. That was always a grind.
Luke, I'll just keep it on this. I know we'll get to Oilers and Vegas and all this. Leon's an okay player, I guess, but that's interesting because I don't know. I know at the pro level in football what if a guy's gloves get a little shredded, in the CFL, you might have to live with that for a game or certainly for practices. What was and look, I know there's probably a hierarchy, but please feel free to explain that as well. But what was it like having to go to the equipment manager and say, look, I got a hole in my mitts. What are we going to do about it?
Dude, this is so funny because you just nailed it. When I was a rookie, and I started in the American League, obviously, it worked exactly that way. It was all hierarchy. I didn't get my name on my stick. Like I didn't get a custom stick till like year 3. And there's a true story. I went up it's either first or second year. I went to the equipment manager. I was out of sticks. He goes, "Hey, your batch is in." I'm like, unreal. Like finally my sticks I've waited months for here. We go to the back. It's not mine. it's the flex is off. The curve is like it is so far from what I would be using. And he just looks at me. He goes, I don't know what to tell you. I'm not sending them back. Like you're using these. So for like the next 6 months, I was using like a batch of literally different curve. That's literally the way it was. And it was such a change of pace when I got to the NHL, because it was just like, what do you need? It went from like having nothing to having everything. I went up there. I think I've told Reid this before. One of my first week with the Oilers, they had all the stick reps there. And so Warrior, CCM, Bauer, and I had just spent 4 years using CCM. And these guys are like, hey, do you want to use our stuff? Here's some free samples, take these sticks. We'll make custom. I'm like, this is wild. I feel like I was so uncomfortable, but yes, even in Edmonton, I'll tell you, Jeff Lang, I had to catch Langer on a good day. Like sometimes he'd be grumpy. I'm not asking for gloves. I'm not asking for anything. Like I'd have to make sure he was in a good mood. And I tried not to bug him too much.
Bring him a coffee, butter him up a
exactly.
bit. Yeah.
Langer, you want Starbucks this morning? Okay. You get some gloves back there. Another set.
How many teams, because you were on Dallas, Edmonton, New Jersey. Am I missing one in the NHL?
No.
So how many? Because you referenced sometimes the Oilers would practice in Leduc, and now if they can't use Rogers Place, they use the DCA, which is attached. It's like the same building. But whenever the Rangers practice, like, isn't it always in Connecticut? How many teams do you know, or I don't know if you had this experience, like regularly don't practice where they play? Like, would the Devils have practices and morning skates in their own rink?
I would, because they have a rink right next door. They have it's where the PWHL team plays. I think there might be a university that plays there too. It's actually unreal. In the dressing room, you walk through the left door to go out to the game rink, and you walk out the right door to go to the practice rink. It's actually an unbelievable setup. Almost every single team, and especially the new teams that are coming in, are now building it so you either have a practice rink in your game rink or it's a practice rink facility. Almost nobody in the league does everything at their game rink anymore. I actually don't even know if I could tell you a team that does much at their game rink, but the morning skates, because I don't even think the Rangers game day skate at MSG. I'm not even sure how much
it's always available. Yeah.
No, every team, almost all these owners now have built these like crazy new practice facilities that are 3-4 rinks sometimes, and it's community center and all that stuff. So I would say for the norm, you're not doing a ton of game rink, which was so unique for us at Rexall, because we did everything at Rexall, everything. And it was just occasionally we were, Leduc, we had to do dress and drives to, is it Phil White? What's White, right? Not Phil White. That's one in Toronto. There's one.
Barnes.
Rusty Barnes. Yeah. Rusty Barnes. Yeah. That's the one. Russ Barnes, sorry, Rusty Barnes.
Which was the loudest arena I've ever been in. Like, there's just echo. I covered a couple of practices there. Everything just echoes. Like, you feel like you're in a weird chamber. Joel wants to know if you're on Sportsnet tonight.
No Sportsnet tonight. I have a good schedule this week, though. We go Wednesday night hockey tomorrow. Huge matchup here in Toronto. Florida's in town playing the Leafs. We got another national, but Boston, Montreal on Thursday, and then Hockey Night in Canada on Saturday. But the Oilers are playing early, so I don't get to cover them. They're at 4 o'clock. So we got the Leafs, and then late Calgary game.
So you'll be up nice and late in the Eastern time zone watching the Oilers and the Golden Knights. All right, we got to talk about a couple players. Draisaitl, obviously he's having a great season. That's nothing new. He misses 4 games and is... I really thought, Luke, and I know I've seen him score hat tricks and 4-goal games in the playoffs. I thought that was one of the best games I've ever seen him play. Like, it was, he's on the ice is tilted, never went away, kept testing Dustin Wolf, eventually tied it and won it. I just wanted your thoughts on that performance.
You couldn't have said it any better. Maybe one of, if not the most dominant performance I've seen him play. I wasn't sure how he was going to start the game. Missing 4, he gave away a puck early, and I just remember thinking, oh no, this might get ugly. And I now looking back, I have no idea why I even let a negative thought like that enter my mind, because 2 shifts later, I was thinking, this guy hasn't missed a beat. Like, here he goes. And it was every time he was on the ice, you're right, it felt tilted. That's a good way to put it. I just felt like he dominated the play every time he stepped out there. It was Calgary, you could tell after probably the first, they were game playing against him. They couldn't skate with him, though. He's just such a big body. And man, it's fun to watch. I said this after the game when we're kind of in the comfy chairs to the guys. We've seen it enough. Now I think you guys can attest to this, that when Connor's not in, you can tell he is now thoroughly enjoying taking the reins as like the solo guy when Connor's out. Like he enjoys that role. He enjoys that experience. And, not that there is a narrative, but like you can't play without McDavid, this or that. And it's every time it's like, that's not going to play here. So, pretty special what he's doing, man. Leading the league, 11 game-winning goals, I think is one of the most important stats in his line. No one else is in double digits in the NHL. Talk about clutch moments. He's brought them all year for this team.
All right. And I thought it was a really good performance in goal by Pickard. That's always, as you know, that's a big topic on this show and all our shows here at Edmonton Sports Talk is the goaltending. If Stuart Skinner, for the most part, has had an underwhelming season compared to expectations. So a lot of people want Pickard to play more. The last time, though, he had a good game against Carolina. He started a back-to-back against Anaheim and let in 4 goals in the first period and was pulled. How much of I don't know if test is the right word, but I mean, coaches are always looking for more information on players. I mean, this is Pickard going in. He's never played Vegas. We know how Vegas can play. I think this is a pretty big start for Calvin tonight.
Not just this one, but I think leaning into eventually LA on Saturday, this is huge for him. And listen, say what you want about Cal. It might be a bit of a dicey ride, but he's going to give you a good effort every time. Plays incredibly different than Stu, not as compact in his game. It's a little bit more of a ride. But I love the effort he's brought, man. He's been the guy for them to kind of stabilize that position whenever Stu has had his faults. Can't say enough good things about this guy. Honestly, the guys love him too, from what I hear. So he's brought it on and off the ice. And I think tonight is going to be a big test. I know they have no Connor, no Ekholm tonight. It's a big test for this whole team. Honestly, they going in there. Vegas has won 6 in a row. 5 versus non-playoff teams, mind you, but winning 6 in a row is a pretty good feat in the National Hockey League. Jack's playing some of the best hockey of his career. Leon's going to be head-to-head against him tonight. So not only Cal, I think this is going to be a bit of a measuring stick for the boys. I think this is a big one tonight for them.
All right. Luke, thanks for hopping on the show. Always enjoy the stories and the perspective and the analysis. Enjoy being up after midnight to see the end of this hockey game live or getting up early to watch it on your VCR.
Oh, I'm night owl these days, watching all the late hockey. Love it. Love it. All right, you guys rock. Yeah. Talk to you soon.
Take care, everybody. Luke Gazdic, former Edmonton Oiler, former NHLer, now with Sportsnet and a regular guest on Edmonton Sports Talk. Always love Luke's stories. That's a great story about the sticks and the minors as compared to getting whatever you need in the National Hockey League. But I love what he said too, what he sees from Draisaitl and Pickard here as the Oilers take on the Golden Knights tonight. So if you missed it earlier, McDavid is on the trip after all, but wearing the non-contact jersey today at practice. So obviously not expected to play tonight. Maybe a good sign that he's on the trip, that maybe we see him in one of the later games.
Great sign.
But
yes, absolutely. Frederick was skating, so this is the first time they've skated together.
Yeah.
Good signs, positive signs.
And Kane is obviously with the team, but as we know, we're not going to see him until the postseason.
And I don't know. I think this is great, just even if you're on the road trip. You're there with the boys, you're there with the fellas. It's much easier to start building what relationships you don't have with a Trent Frederick, especially because he and McDavid are out. They can actually work on a lot of things, work on off-ice things. So I think it's a great move for Connor to be there. And carrying as many guys as you can, because at this time of the year, you got to get things right.
Yeah. All right. Keep your texts coming, 780-218-9999.
Should we do Clue 2?
The River Cree Resort Casino. You want to do it this early?
I don't know, Reid. It's a toughie. Well, yeah.
No, I don't want to do it yet.
I guess not.
I don't want to do it quite yet. But the first clue for the Hudson's Canada's Pub Mystery Athlete of the Game was
2017.
2017. Okay. 2017. We will have more clues as we continue throughout the afternoon. I think this is going to be a good one today. I can also tell you that we are in the Canadian Brewhouse studio. So new month. By the way, how about this to remember? The Stanley Cup playoffs start this month. That's pretty exciting.
Is it?
Yes. Well, I think it's cool.
I know, but
you
it
can
also
say
means
it's actually this month. We got Stanley Cup playoff games.
Then it also signifies that this is the start of the end of the year. Hockey season's almost over.
Yeah, but playoffs are the pinnacle.
I know.
Canadian Brewhouse Studio. Here's the Wing Flavor of the Month showdown. How about this? Dillionaire versus Passion Fruit Habanero.
Dillionaire.
So Wing Flavors of the Month. Dillionaire sauce versus Passion Fruit Habanero. Cool versus Fiery. Who will reign supreme? Come taste the madness at the Canadian Brewhouse. That's a great line. Come taste the madness. Eat these wings and see if you can keep your sanity. All right. If you're watching us on YouTube, we thank you. Well, we thank you however you are consuming the program. But if you're on YouTube, you can help us out and have some fun. Click the little thumbs up. If everybody got in there and rallied, we'd be double word of the day territory and thinking about a show record. So jump in there and click. We have the Oil Understood. You're going to hear from Nurse and Knobloch and Pickard. We're going to hear some more pranks that you've seen or been a part of, had done to you. Well, that's our off-topic topic for William Huff. Here comes my good friend, Zachary Kubusch.
Evander Kane and Trent Frederick were on the ice for Oilers practice. Connor McDavid also hit the ice in a non-contact jersey with head coach Chris Knobloch saying that McDavid should be back before playoffs. It's Oilers Golden Knights tonight with Tom Gazzola and Hernan Salas previewing the matchup during the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame show at 7 right here on EST. We also see the Jets meeting the Kings, Senators battling the Sabres, while the Preds and Blue Jackets duke it out on a 10-game NHL slate. And WHL playoff action has the Oil Kings looking to take a 2-1 series lead over the Raiders. Prince George and Portland going toe-to-toe, while Everett heads to Seattle, having both of those series tied at 1 apiece. And NBA games have Toronto visiting Chicago, the 76ers taking on the Knicks, while the Timberwolves tip off against the Nuggets. 7 games around the association. There's 13 MLB matchups. Toronto fresh off a 5-2 win against Washington yesterday. Rematch the Nationals. This sports update is brought to you by Find Edmonton, and Find takes your unused furniture and home goods to help those moving out of homelessness. Get donations picked up or drop them off free of charge. Visit findedmonton.com or call them at 780-988-1717. The Oil Understood for GCL Diesel brings us back after a brief intermission. I'm Zachary Kubusch, keeping you in the loop.
Get your fix every single game with the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame and postgame shows with Tom Gazzola and Hernan Salas. Whether it's breaking down the starting lineup, predicting key matchups, or diving deep into the game's biggest moments, Tom and Hernan are here to give you the best insight and analysis in the city. After the final horn, get the breakdown of every key moment, performance, and player reactions. It's your one-stop shop for all things game day. Catch the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame and postgame shows with Tom Gazzola and Hernan Salas, only on Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
Gallo LLP is an Alberta-based accounting firm with expert chartered professional accountants in both our Edmonton and Sherwood Park accounting firms. Our experienced and innovative accountants provide financial advice that saves our clients money. Simply put, we help our clients protect their assets and grow their businesses. At Gallo LLP, they go beyond the numbers to ensure the continued success of your business. Reach out to Preet or John to discuss how they can help your business grow. Visit gallollp.ca today and see how they can help you take your business to the next level.
Do you have pets? horses, chickens? Did the place you used to get your feed recently close down? Have no fear. Clover Bar Feeds is here. Whether it's dogs, cats, horses, or chickens, Clover Bar Feeds has you covered. Offering a large variety of food and feed, you can trust the experts at Clover Bar Feeds. They've been family owned and operated for over 60 years. This means you can expect nothing less than top-notch service and selection. Come visit them at 200 Portage Close in Sherwood Park or visit them online at cloverbarfeeds.com.
Looking for quality building materials and friendly advice? Visit us at Windsor Plywood Leduc, family owned and locally run since 1993. From interior materials for doors, flooring, baseboards, and all the finishing touches to all you need for your outdoor projects like cedar lumber for decks and fences, plus all the plywood you'd need. Our full-time on-staff carpenter can help with anything odd-sized or custom, and from domestic hardwoods to exotic selections, we've got you covered. And if we don't have it, we'll track it down for you. Windsor Plywood Leduc. We're the experts you need to know. Is this North Shore? I wish. Oh, yeah, because this is much more upbeat for the music you guys wrote.
Thank you.
It was very...
Happy birthday to you, scumbag.
Well, I'm just saying that was an era of music in which a lot of the rock maybe had a little bit more of a somber or serious...
I think more anger.
Yeah, maybe a little bit of anger.
I had anger. Not that I had anger. I had a great childhood, young adulthood. I've had a great life,
I'm not
really.
saying you were angry. I'm just saying the music of that time was sort of the anti-80s anthemic party rock.
True.
It was more, let's be introspective. I mean, certainly there were 80s songs that were about heartbreak and sadness and stuff like that. I think it was a little more common in the 90s and early aughts. The whole grunge thing, you know? They went from pouring sugar on people to smelling like Teen Spirit.
Only you would say early aughts.
Yeah. Well, that's what
true.
it is.
Well, it's early 2000s.
I just think Teen Spirit would smell really bad. Like, I just think of, like when a teen starts to emit body odor and they haven't discovered deodorant yet.
Terrible.
And it's like, you stink. What, do I? I don't know.
Teen Spirit was a deodorant.
Thank you, Koob.
Yeah.
What was the one where they went, was that shtick? Where they'd snap their fingers?
Probably.
Reid, I got to ask you
your word
this,
for it,
because I know we're going to get to the Oil Understood here for GCL Diesel, but let's kick it off with this. Raj asked, I mean, we said Trent Frederick traveled.
Yes.
And was on the ice today in Las Vegas. He asked, thoughts on and odds on Frederick extending with the Oil. Is it completely dependent on the playoffs, or is he merely a goner?
I have no idea.
Well, then you would have to say, then yes, it does depend on the playoffs. What if Trent Frederick comes in and is a bona fide contributor this playoff run? He's a UFA. I mean, his cap hit is $2.3 million currently.
Yeah.
You probably get him somewhat similar.
Well, but if he does really awesome in the playoffs, he might look for more money elsewhere, too. Yeah, I don't know. I don't even think
it's hard to say, obviously. Nobody's seen the guy play in Edmonton.
Not for us.
Not for the Oilers.
Yeah, it's a good question. I'm not even really considering that till we get to the end of the season, whenever that is. You know what? It could be later this month.
Oh, now you're really poo-pooing things.
Well, you wanted me to tell you what's going on.
I didn't want you to tell me that.
Actually, would. Yeah, if it's a short series, it would end in April. Just saying.
Oh, boy.
Oilers and Golden Knights. Let's get to the Oil Understood for GCL Diesel, providers of the best diesel engine components around. From turbochargers to injectors, fuel pumps to sensors, they are the critical engine component experts, proud to serve Edmonton and Northern Alberta for over 50 years, now a partner of Edmonton Sports Talk and the Reid Wilkins Show. GCL Diesel. Diesel. Understood. 8 o'clock game. Oh, by the way, if you're on YouTube, keep clicking the thumbs up. We're on a really good pace today, so let's see how high we can go.
Yeah.
Click away. We should be well over 100 by the top of the hour, which would be phenomenal. So we appreciate you tuning in. Just give us a little bit, 1% more effort, and click that thumbs up
a little bit
on YouTube.
Women love.
So Oilers and Golden Knights coming up at 8 o'clock. Vegas Golden Knights, always a tough opponent. Here's defenseman Darnell Nurse.
They have they're 4 lines deep and play 6 really good D-men. So it's a team that each shift you out there, you just have to have your attention to detail. They go off the rush, so you don't want to give up rush chances. And with all that said, I think we have a big belief in our team and in the game that we can play. And there's a lot of confidence that we come out here and play our own game and play the standard that we're capable of playing at. The rest takes care of itself.
All right, that's from Darnell Nurse. What about the head coach, Chris Knobloch, looking at the Golden Knights?
Their defense is very good. They're big. They can also move the puck. And, for their system, any team that plays a good system, the best way is it's playing fast, getting them when there's a change of possession. Anytime everyone's in position, then it's usually there's a breakdown. For us to get those opportunities in the offensive zone, it's catching them when they're out of position, and that's not necessarily a structural thing. It's just playing off instincts.
Yeah, when I think of the Golden Knights, I think of a team, well, the term I've used for them for a couple of years now, miserable bastards.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe relentless would be a more family-friendly word, like if you were at the dinner table with Grandma, and she said,
"Well, Reid, I'm watching the Oilers in Vegas tonight. What's Vegas like?"
I wouldn't say, "Well, Grandma, they're miserable bastards." I'd say, "Well, you know what? They're pretty relentless, Grandma. Like the Oilers are going to be in tough here. Like
they're annoyingly competitive.
They don't really have. It just seems, regardless of who they have in the lineup, there's not a lot of drop off from lines 1 to 4. I mean, they have more talent a little higher up, but this is. We've talked throughout the season, and I'm sure this will be something you and I are going to talk about for however long we're lucky enough to host the show together, about teams that have an identity. I mean, for most of the last 15 years, the Bruins have had an identity. That's maybe coming apart a little bit now with guys retiring or being traded to Florida or whatever. But to me, Vegas has an identity. Like if a player said to you, if you met some young guy and he said, "Hey, I just signed with the Golden Knights," I would automatically have assumptions about the type of player you are.
What would they be?
Maybe person you are.
Physical, aggressive,
competitive, annoying. No quit. Yeah, can be
like a little bit
dirty,
annoying.
A little dirty maybe.
Yeah,
and skilled enough to finish some plays. Like I look at like who's their fourth line tonight? Like Pearson, Howden, and Kolasar. Like Kolasar, Like when I first started watching Kolasar, and I think I've told this before, I was kind of like, well, like, what is this guy? Like, is he a bit of a phony? Like, is he a bit of a show out there? Like, look at me. But then you see him play, and I'm like, no, this guy's actually pretty effective. And if you look at their, clearly Eichel points wise, but look at how many guys with 12 or more goals they have. Eichel 27, or I guess 11 or more. Dorofeyev 31. Roy 11, Smith 11, Sod 12. I know he hasn't been there. Like Howden is listed as their fourth line center tonight. 22. Hertl, I know he's out. 31. Barbashev 20. Kolasar 12. Stone 19. Pearson 12. Olofsson 13. Like, okay, shut down our number one line. Hard enough to do with Eichel, Stone, and Barbashev on it. Great, shut them down. We'll bang the net, we'll crash the net, and get some goals with some other guys. They've become, and they're to me, they're one of those teams. They're not likable. Like I think a lot of Oilers fans would say this is. I know we talk a lot about Vancouver, Calgary, and the Toronto thing. I would think, actually, I would hope that this would be one of the oil country's most hated teams.
And it's funny because a lot of the other hated teams, well, the two that stand out are obviously the Flames and the Canucks. That's 50-50 fan base. The fan base is not included in this for Vegas. There's no real vitriol there. In fact, from what I've understood, the experience for Oilers fans going to Vegas is actually quite positive.
Right.
This is strictly gameplay. They beat you up. They outwill you. They forecheck harder. They defend harder. It's just all the little things they do as a team. And as you said, have created that identity.
I think this is, maybe here's another way to describe it. What separates Vegas from the Oilers, even as the Oilers have been a better team here, and maybe even some other good teams with good players. And we talk about this a lot. If some nights, some nights. And the Oilers have been a deep, like even this year when we talk about the Oilers maybe not being as deep as they need to be, they're still deeper than a couple of the teams Tippett coached, when they started making the playoffs again. But, there are some nights, even when they beat Calgary, Draisaitl's not on the ice. Okay, it goes back the other way. If Draisaitl and McDavid aren't on the separate lines, teams are like, okay, we got to survive. Maybe we're -1 against McDavid and Draisaitl, but our third and fourth lines can beat their third and fourth lines, and we win the game. I feel like watching Vegas, there's not that drop off. There's not that take a breath moment of the game. Of course, Eichel's an amazing player, having a great season. It's like Stone plays higher in the lineup, but I feel like as you get down to lines 3 and 4 on Vegas, there's not, okay, we can swing it back in our favor. Like they have guys that even if they're not scoring, like I said, they get out there, they play relentless. They're still in your zone. They're still mucking it up. And so you got to deal with that. And then, oh, great, here comes Eichel again, and he's going to dangle us or make a great play. That's how I feel they've separated themselves. I mean, McCrimmon and McPhee have done a good job putting the team together. I think they get that type of player. And then when you have a lot of that type of player, I do think, we talk about culture, because look, I've told this before. I used to interview John Shannon all the time. And when Eichel got traded to Vegas, John Shannon said, well, great, now he's going to sulk his way around the Vegas Strip as opposed to sulking his way around Buffalo. I mean, now Eichel's one of them, right? Like he's like, I feel if you have the majority of your roster like that and a new guy goes into the room, you can't be like, oh man,
no, they're not taking it.
And I think that's, the Perry comment. Well, we got to address this internally about defending our goalie or getting in a scrum or whatever. That's been you never get that sense that Vegas needs to address that they're a pack,
So who would that be as far as leadership goes on this team?
Stone.
That would be Stone,
it's
right?
Stone. Yeah.
Isn't that amazing?
And I do think, I remember when the Oilers were going to play Vegas in the second round a couple of years ago, being on with Jack and Bob, and Bob said, like, who do you think is the guy if you had to limit one guy on Vegas? And I said Pietrangelo, and both Jack and Bob said Stone, and I think they were right. Having said that, in that series, Pietrangelo stepped up and tried to break Draisaitl's arm, and probably swung the series in Vegas's favor.
Yeah,
because even though he got suspended, he probably hurt Draisaitl, and I think he got the Oilers a little bit off their game when he came back in Game 6. But I think in terms of being, I mean, you talk about guys with a motor, right? That's the saying you like?
Yes.
Like,
love that.
Does
player.
Mark Stone's motor ever shut off?
No. But that just, and I mean, that's the beauty of this, Reid, and the beauty of what you're saying is that this is the NHL. And you still have a guy like Jack Eichel who's a superstar. He was drafted into this league as a potential superstar. Things didn't go his way. Everybody's questioning him. Well, he can't change. He's not going to change. He is who he is. Put him on a team of people that are all going the right direction and doing the same thing. And look at him now. Right? That's neat to see at this level of hockey, that you can still, get this much out of athletes at this level.
Yeah.
And the buy-in of it.
And you look at Vegas, I mean, I feel as if, I hope this makes sense, because clearly going into the playoffs, teams like Washington and Winnipeg that have 115 points are going to be more favored to win the Stanley Cup than a 93-point wildcard team. I get that. But I feel with Vegas, I don't care where they finish. They're in. And then they're going to play the way they play. Like, if Vegas, if Vegas were going into the playoffs, with 94 points, can you write them off as opposed to if they had 110? Not the way they play, not with some of the experience they have, not with their goaltending. I mean, they're just a solid team. And I know this isn't supposed to be the Vegas love-in show, but
they're good.
They're good.
They're good.
You would want your favorite team to play. Like, I think there's times probably some Oilers fans listening would say, I wish were a little greasier like Vegas.
Yep. Oh, it's funny you say that about the odds of things because later in the show, I want to present some of those odds to you because you might be a little surprised. As of right now, the odds for Stanley Cup champions.
Has everything I just said been totally wrong?
No, not, but almost. You'd be shocked.
Okay.
You'd be shocked.
Yeah, let's get into that. Keep your texts coming on a couple things. Our off-topic topic for William Huff to the River Cree Resort and Casino inbox, 780-218-9999. Your a memorable prank that you've witnessed or been a part of. We got some coming in on that, and you continue guessing in the Hudson's Canada's Pub Mystery Athlete of the Game. Should I give clue number 2?
I think it's time.
Clue number 2, and again, you have to text to guess. Clue number 2 is 22. So the first clue, 2017. Clue number 2 is 22. Keep giving us the thumbs up on YouTube. We need 7 more for 100. And really, if everybody just clicked away, we would be at an astounding number already. So no offense, but I really don't know what you're waiting for. Like Mark Stone would get in there and click. Like Mark Stone would be, and he'd be in the group chat. Hey guys, step up and click. All right, here comes the Koob.
The Lock Shop.
I'm kind of with you that I think St. Louis probably locks down the 7th spot. And then assuming that the Jets can hold on to number 1, we could have Winnipeg, Minnesota in the first round.
How good would that be for you guys?
Absolutely hate each other. And for Jet fans, I mean, it's a 7.5 hour drive down to Minnesota to make that happen. And as much as people might not be planning on traveling to the States, that might change things very quickly.
The Lock Shop, weekday mornings at 11, only on Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
Your home for live music and great performances is the River Cree Resort and Casino. Don't miss the East LA rock and roll legend with the world sound, Los Lobos, at the River Cree Resort and Casino May 15th.
Don't worry, baby, what the world may bring. Well, don't worry, baby.
Get your tickets at rivercreeresort.com. River Cree Resort and Casino. Excitement? Bet on it.
You've heard the name, but what does it mean? For over 66 years, William Huff Advertising has supplied signage from screen printing to digital to LED with design, production, and install in-house. It's a one-stop shop for all your signage needs. Edmonton owned and operated, William Huff has been trusted by the biggest companies and teams in the City of Champions and many others across the country to do the job. If you're looking for a way to get the word out about your company or event, they are the answer. Go to www.williamhuff.com. Their results speak for themselves.
Play more tables and games.
Play more tables and games. Make the most of your fan game. Oh, you want to, you need to, you know just what you gotta do. It's time to add some fun to your life. Make the most of your fan game. Play more tables and games.
PlayMoreGames.ca.
Connor McDavid practiced in a non-contact jersey this morning. Head coach Chris Knobloch saying McDavid should be back before playoffs. And Trent Frederick and Evander Kane also practice. All 3 players remain out of the lineup. In Sin City, the Oilers test their luck against the Golden Knights. Catch the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame show with Tom Gazzola and Hernan Salas as they go live at 7 to preview the action right here on EST. 9 other games around the league. Florida visits Montreal. Calgary hits the ice in Utah while the Jets battle the Kings. And it's game 3 between Edmonton and Prince Albert. The series tied at 1 apiece. 6 other matchups, including the Hitmen and Blades, dropping the puck while the Royals challenge the Americans. In the NBA, there's 7 games. Raptors face the Bulls. Trailblazers clash with the Hawks, while the Magic and Spurs throw it down. In baseball, the Blue Jays take on the Nationals after Toronto won 5-2 last night. Elsewhere, the Rangers and Reds go at it, while the Braves meet the Dodgers on a 13-game MLB slate. I'm Zachary Kubusch. That was your sports update. The second hour of the Reid Wilkins Show starts right now.
Oh, what a delightful little ditty coming back from break. Thanks, Koob. Great job, buddy.
Stick the landing.
Adorned in your Edmonton Sports Talk gear. Did I freak you out last week with my rant about your attire? I feel bad about it now.
I'm self-conscious a little bit about it. Like
Are
when
you?
I go put on a hat, I'm like, I don't know what Reid would think about that one today.
Well, I ain't the boss of nobody. Oh, that's terrible grammar. You can you can wear what you want. It's just you might get you have to live with the reaction. Like if you're wearing a Golden Knights hat today, there would be a reaction. Not just from me, from the audience.
That one did not cross my mind. But the last time I wore my Vegas Golden Knights hat was not a good day.
Did you wear it during you didn't wear it during the playoffs because the station wasn't going during the playoffs. Playoffs.
Yeah, it was the Oilers looking for a 17th win in a row.
Okay, wait a minute. And you wore a Golden Knights hat that day?
Yeah, I wore the opposition's
Why
hat.
did you do that?
I don't know. I always thought, well, they're playing the Oilers today. Or the Oilers are playing them, whichever way you want to look at it.
Yeah.
So I wore the hat. I did that
But
when
you
they
didn't
played
realize that would be
San
there'd be a
Jose.
reaction from Oilers fans about that?
I don't think any of the fans would have said anything if the Oilers would have won that game.
Oh, you wore it the day after or the day of?
The day of.
Yeah, that's...
So the next day is where the backlash came big time.
I would have expected their backlash on the day of even.
I think it was a Koob curse.
Yeah,
you
are the
Koob
curse. I think the Koob embraces a little bit of a heel role. You know?
Yeah, I like playing devil's advocate.
Yeah, it's okay. I mean, you have to. The only thing is you have to be able to face the consequences.
Yeah, you have to realize there's going to be consequences, which is fine.
The Nasty Chat is planning a birthday party for you. I believe Def Leppard's invited. The Combine Crew boys are doing security.
Oh, I did not see all this.
I think Jasmine's on bottle service. Def Leppard is landing the private chopper in my backyard.
Oh, I saw somebody said the chopper's on the roof of this okay. So now it's in the backyard of your house.
Dash asked for permission for it to be in my backyard. I obviously obliged.
And then I have to sleep over probably at your place after the party.
You're probably going to have to, bruh. The off-topic topic for William Huff today was the best April Fools you've been a part of or that you've witnessed. I just got to throw this one out here that I saw earlier today. I thought it was fantastic. When I told you, Reid, you hadn't seen it yet, but Tiger Woods from the top rope early this morning saying, I can't believe I'm saying that. It's essentially, I'm not going to read the whole tweet, but he said, my recovery from my torn Achilles is going very well. The hyperbaric chamber, blah, blah, blah. I'm ready for the Masters. Tweet. And minutes later, he said, P.S. April Fool's, my Achilles is still a mess.
Yeah.
That's that.
Yeah. I would think most people would suspect something was up when they saw that.
But from Tiger, would you expect that?
Yeah, I wouldn't. He's getting a little more playful.
He's getting to the funny stage of his life.
I mean, he's not that. I think he's 49, or did he just turn 50? He's born on Boxing Day, right? He's 49 or 50.
I do know that we worked out today, and there's other people that work out at the same time, and our trainer that we deal with, he's a very nice fella.
Mm-hmm.
He's not the tallest of people.
Okay.
And one of the other ladies that was there working out came in and said, I'll just say, hey, Johnny. And he says, yeah, how you doing? And she says, you're tall. April Fools.
Oh, wow. That's intense.
Yeah,
that's not really a prank, though. That's just more of an
brought
insult.
the gym down.
Like, I don't think he was fooled. Yeah, that's more for other people, I suppose.
It did. It did. Big Uke says, best that's happened to me skiing years ago. We were on a house on the hill, and I came in for lunch. My sister brought me a glass of lime Kool-Aid. I was tired and thirsty for skiing, so I took a huge swig. Turns out it was a glass of pickle juice.
Oh, my goodness.
We still talk about that one. Matty Dubb, who didn't necessarily say he does this for April Fools, but he is a high school phys ed teacher. And sometimes when a kid is being especially annoying, he gets them to fill up the water fountains. So he'll give them a bucket of water and see how long they take trying to fill up the water fountains.
Fill up the water fountains.
Yes.
Yeah, what would you do? Where would you put the water?
That'd be a good one.
That is a good one.
Yeah.
Because that's one of those things. If your teacher told you to do it, it would seem possible. Like, oh yeah, well the water's got to come from somewhere.
Well, I know that when I played with the Wildcats, we had our practice facility down at Rundle Park, and the city about probably 25, almost 30 years ago now installed lights so that we could practice into the evening. And the bit was for a rookie of the team that wouldn't know any better. At the end of practice, everybody comes back up to the clubhouse and the lights are still on.
Right.
You say, hey, go second pole in, go turn those lights off. And you'd see this person just rummaging around this pole trying to find some sort of a handle or a switch. They were on a timer from the city, but
of course.
It's a good bit.
Keep giving us the thumbs up on YouTube. We've soared past 100. Next plateau is 130. Everybody click away. Should be able to get there pretty quickly. Knobloch commenting on the injured players, McDavid, Kane, and Frederick, who have traveled with the team.
Well, it's encouraging seeing a lot of new guys out there. Obviously Kane has been out on the ice for a few skates now with us, but he's joining us. Frederick, his first skate today, and Connor also. It's exciting times for us, and hopefully we can have those guys within the near future. Whether that's for all three of them for the first game of playoffs, I'm not sure, but they're trending in the right direction.
All right. What do you say? All three of them first game of the playoffs? Hopefully McDavid and Frederick are in before that.
I don't know, Reid. Honestly,
you think McDavid's just not coming back that quickly?
Well, look at the standings. I mean, they're locked into playing the Kings.
Pretty much. Huge win for Calgary last night, but they still have a lot of work to do.
But they still have a lot of work to do. It's just now a matter of who's going to have home ice advantage in that first series. And although you'd like it, you have to outright beat the LA Kings. You can't be tied with them.
Right.
Because regulation wins come into play, in which LA is clearly ahead. So, you got to gain 4 points on the Kings. So back to, McDavid. Would you rather just say, hey, rest, and let's get a level of Connor McDavid in the playoffs that we have yet to see? Right? He's skating.
I think he wants to play as soon as possible. Draisaitl said, he was asked after that last game, he said, I guess you get rest, but I'd sooner play. I'd sooner be in the lineup playing.
I understand that, but I'd imagine there is the discussion as well. Let's just let this play out. No rush, absolutely zero rush.
Yeah. Steve in the Nasty Chat says, Reid, do you interview the Oilers with the other reporters? I swear it's your voice, LOL. I don't know if that's an April Fool's joke. Yes. No, I'm not in every single scrum post-game at home. I'm obviously not traveling, so I wasn't there today. But if you hear a voice that sounds like mine asking a question, especially after a game, that's me. I don't know if that's what Steve means or not.
I think so. And you'll usually see the EST mic in there.
Yeah. So sometimes it's Tom, but after games, it's not Tom because Tom's on air. All right. 780-218-9999 is the River Cree Resort and Casino inbox. River Cree Resort and Casino, home of the kitchen restaurant, all you can eat surf and turf for just $59.99 every Friday. That is from 4 to 10 p.m. You can send in your questions, comments, guesses for the Hudson's Canada's Pub, mystery athlete of the game, guesses there, or your April Fool's pranks stories. So I can't remember what year it was, but I'd been in Lloydminster a few years, and Kurt Price was the morning show host. He went on to do the job for several years. Very funny guy. So one morning, the morning of April Fool, I can't remember the year. It's probably like 05 or 06. The mayor, Ken Baker was the name of the mayor. I think he's since passed away. Came on the show and said that they were changing the name of the city to Lloydminster because so many people mispronounce it that anyway. They might as well just go along with it. And they took the city logo and got someone to change it. So it said Lloydminster, and we put this on our website. And a lot of people fell for it. A lot of people fell for it because like Kurt told me, and he showed some of the emails. There was like a fair number of angry people saying, like, how can you do this? Like, why are we bending to the How would we change the city name? Why are we bending to the people who are like, they're the ones mispronouncing it? You know, if they can't look and see what it says, why are we adding the letter I in there to, so now some people got it right away or figured it out like, wait a minute, it's April 1st. But I thought that was a good one. And because they had the mayor involved,
that's
like if just Kurt went on air and was like, oh, the mayor phoned me last night and told me, okay, but they actually had the mayor in studio. Like he came in studio and spent the morning show with Kurt and was giving, his official explanation and spin on it that they were changing Lloydminster to Lloydminster.
I love it.
That was a good one.
Yeah, it was the mayor's role. WestJet did some good April Fools, if I'm not misremembering. But I think WestJet is.
Did they do stuff?
They used to. I think the airline industry is a little too serious these days to.
Yeah, there are times,
time and place,
and I think too when you're working in broadcasting and in a newsroom, you gotta be careful.
Yeah,
like I don't really. I mean, you and I joke around a lot, but like it's not like we'd report something that. Well, let's make something sound like news that isn't news. Like, why? Like, what's really to gain from that?
Max Bezzozu asks an interesting question in the nasty chat, Reid, and I suspect I know your answer, but we'll let you speak for yourself. Has an Oiler ever come up to you and say, hey, I listened to your show earlier. I agree/disagree with what you said?
No. And to be quite honest with you, I would think the majority of, if not all of the current Oilers would not know how to find this show. I think that they probably don't listen to sports talk radio. I think that they might. Here's the thing. There are times that an Oiler has maybe heard something or read something. Nurse joked in the post game after Saturday's game. He's like, well, we have zero toughness, right?
Yeah.
I think that was a shot at a reporter or two. I would think that probably gets to the players through a family member or a parent or a spouse, or if you read something. I don't know. Look, I would love it if everybody in the world listened to this show and we had the best ratings ever. But I don't think an NHL player, an Oilers player, would feel much of a need to listen to this show or really any other sports talk show in Edmonton. I do know that, and here's the thing, I think it's different with the written word because you and I could say something and it might be critical, but if we're doing it conversational, like again, I don't think you and I come on here and necessarily attack people. We might point out shortcomings and maybe a player might not like hearing that, but it might not stick in someone's mind where if they were friends with a player or knew a player, they'd go and say, oh, hey, these guys said this and this. Oh, but I can't remember exactly what they were saying.
Yeah.
But if Spec writes an article, somebody could text a player and be like, did you see that Spec wrote that you should be bagging groceries for a living because you're so bad? And they can go and read that and just see that one sentence, and that might stick in their head a little more. So no, that specifically, Mex, that's never happened. The only player who's ever specifically said that he would sometimes listen to the show was Mark Letestu. And I think with that's because he'd known me.
Right.
Since I was, he was 16, 17 playing junior B, and I was in my mid to late 20s covering his teams. And then we, sort of reconnected after a while. So he once told me, he said, I will listen to your post-game show if I think it's not going to be about me driving home. Dave Tippett once came on with Rob and I and said, it's good to talk to you again, Rob. I hear you sometimes. So maybe the coach would tune in driving home. But I don't think that it's appointment listening for most of the people who are actually involved in the process. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Good question, though. And you got to wonder because these athletes grow up liking sports. They play sports. They read up on sports. They read up on, who's playing in the NHL when they're, 14, 13 years old. So to say that completely shuts off when they become professional, I don't know if that's as simple as saying that. Now, they might grow to dislike reading up or looking on Twitter and seeing what everybody's saying, because let's face it, this market in Edmonton is a tough market. It's a smart market. The hockey IQ here is quite high. So you're not going to get away as much as you would say in, I don't know, Carolina, right? But that's interesting. I wonder, after it's all said and done, if you could go to a guy like, I don't know, like when Corey Perry retires and say, did you keep, at least tabs on what was going on or what was being said in local media? It'd be interesting to know if a player could absolutely say, no, never looked at it, never wanted to see it.
Yeah, I think it would depend, like if how big somebody the show was, if there was again a pre-existing relationship. Yeah, it's hard. I can't even imagine that a player would ever say that to me, even if for some reason they did hear something. They would probably more likely just short answer me in a scrum and try to brush me off that way. I don't even know if they'd bother confronting me about it. All right, 780-218-9999, the River Cree Resort and Casino inbox. We're going to give away a $25 GC to Hudson's Canada's Pub, the Hudson's Canada's Pub mystery athlete of the game. I'm not going to give the third clue quite yet. Oh. The first two clues are 2017 and 22. We obviously don't have a winner because you haven't played the dingy noise.
Lots of guesses. Not a winner. Okay, that's good. I think I'm going to hold off because I only prepared 4 clues today because I think somebody's going to win it after the third clue. All right, you're doing great with the thumbs. We're 10 away. We're 9 away. I just updated it for 130, which means we're getting a word of the day for sure. We're basically 30 away from a double word of the day. So let's rally and click those thumbs up as quickly as possible. Makes Jay and I feel good. Thanks for all the birthday wishes in the nasty chat. We are going to have a minor birthday celebration on the show, but more importantly, we're going to talk about birthday etiquette at work. Right? Because it's, some people may not want to celebrate like Paul Stanley would. or Shania.
Let's go, girls.
It's 4:22. Here comes the Koob.
Connor McDavid returned to practice sporting a non-contact jersey. Head coach Chris Knobloch saying he should be back before playoffs. Tonight, it's the third place Edmonton Oilers hitting the road in Vegas to take on first place Golden Knights in a Pacific Division showdown. And Tom Gazzola and Hernan Salas break it all down as they go live for the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame show at 7, only on EST. And around the league, the Caps play the Bruins, the Red Wings battle the Blues, Tampa Bay visits Long Island, and LA hosts Winnipeg. WHL playoff action has the Oil Kings looking to take a 2-1 series lead over the Raiders. Prince George and Portland going toe-to-toe, while Everett heads to Seattle, having both of those series tied at 1 apiece. And 7 games are on tap in the NBA. The Raptors taking on the Bulls. Suns and Bucks tipping off as Phoenix visits Milwaukee. MLB action has 13 games. Toronto and Washington rematch with the Blue Jays beating the Nationals 5-2 yesterday. Elsewhere, the Angels clash with the Cardinals, while Pittsburgh faces Tampa Bay. This sports update is brought to you by Paramount Flooring. Proudly serving Edmonton and area for over 30 years, the West End showroom is open 7 days a week. You can also shop online at ParamountFlooring.ca. The Reid Wilkins Show returns after a brief break. I'm Zachary Kubusch, keeping you in the loop.
Some gently used furniture or home goods that need a new home? Find Edmonton is here to help. Every month we furnish over 100 homes to those transitioning out of homelessness, and we need your gently used furniture and home goods. Drop off at 5120 122nd Street or call for free local pickup. Just visit findedmonton.com to learn how your donations can help create a home for someone in need. Plus, shop our thrift store, in-store or online, with proceeds benefit those moving out of homelessness through housing supports. Visit us at findedmonton.com. Find Edmonton, supporting our community one home at a time.
The showdown continues at the Canadian Brewhouse. Wing flavors of the month. Zillionaire sauce versus passion fruit habanero. One's cool as a cucumber, the other's fire in your face. Who will reign supreme? Come taste the madness. The Canadian Brewhouse. Our house is your house.
Join our very own Dustin Nielsen, Trey and Terrell Ford of the Edmonton Elks and other special guests on Tuesday, April 8th at the Bell in Scona for Edmonton Sports Talk's Bids for Kids, presented by GS Construction. A special live on-location show featuring a delicious appetizer buffet, silent auction, 50-50, and more. This year, Kids Sport is proudly celebrating 30 years of making a positive impact in our community. Don't miss out and join this special celebration to help continue to support those in need. Tickets are limited. Find them today at kidsportbidsforkids.com. That's kidsportbidsforkids.com.
Your home for live music and great performances is the River Cree Resort and Casino. Don't miss the East LA rock and roll legend with the world sound Los Lobos at the River Cree Resort and Casino May 15th.
Don't worry, baby, what the world may bring. Well, don't worry, baby.
Get your tickets at rivercreeresort.com. River Cree Resort and Casino. Excitement? Bet on it.
So the Oilers play the Golden Knights tonight. It is one of 10 games in the National Hockey League. We will have our game of the night for Play More Tables and Games coming up a little bit later on. Calvin Pickard in net for Edmonton. Olivier Rodrigue will be the backup goaltender. Edmonton 42-26-5. Vegas 45-20-8. The Oilers will have Draisaitl between Podkolzin and Arvidsson. Nugent Hopkins with Hyman and Kapanen. Boy, Kapanen sure gets a lot of looks up there, doesn't he? Janmark with Skinner and Brown. Jones with Henrique and Perry. I mean, should it not be Skinner, Nugent Hopkins, and Hyman at this point? Or do you think that there's some, do you think Knobloch's thinking, okay, I actually got some chemistry with Skinner, Janmark, and Brown. I'll leave those guys together.
Reid, since February 1st, Kapanen has 2 assists.
And do you have his plus minus?
20 games, minus 10.
Yeah.
Skinner has 5 goals, 8 points in 18 games, and plus 6. I don't get that. I don't get the Kapanen on the second line move.
Yeah.
Trying to make sense of it.
Well, Kapanen can skate, but
yeah, that's great.
And look, and I've been critical of some parts of Skinner's game as well, but he's been playing better lately, I think. William Mike Spear emailing in a prank. He says, I got a really good buddy a number of years ago. I took the last Timbit, brushed the sugar off, rolled it in salt, walked up to him and offered the last one. He fell for it hook, line, and sinker, put the whole thing in his mouth, and immediately spit it out. Never suspected a thing until he tasted it. I like salty foods. I'm going to like the salted Timbit.
No. Not when you're expecting sugar.
Yeah, fair enough. Game coming up at 8, late one. So 7 o'clock for the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame show with Tom Gazzola and Hernan Salas. Calvin Pickard, the Oilers goalie tonight, looking at the Vegas Golden Knights.
Yeah, great team over there. I was obviously taking an expansion draft, never played a regular season game here, and then I haven't had the chance to play here or start a game against them anywhere. But no, it's exciting. Obviously, it's a team that we see quite often and a team that we're always fighting with. So a great team. They're good off the rush. They got some big bodies, good around the net. Pretty well-rounded team, so we're going to have to be ready. Yeah, great team over there.
He's excited.
I know this, usually players speak highly of their teammates, but you can tell there's something a little different with Pickard. And Gazdic mentioned as well that it might not always be a work of art, and Knobloch joked after the game on Saturday, some unconventional saves at some point, the old 2-pad stack and things like that. But someone said to me once, Reid, if the puck doesn't go into the net, don't worry about how the goalie does it.
True enough.
And Pickard's battled pretty hard for the team this season. I want to get to this clip as well. Knobloch commenting on the play of Darnell Nurse.
You know, Darnell's been playing really well, and it all starts with him skating, moving his feet. He's, you know, his physical attributes are off the charts. How fast and strong he is. When he's using that, he's able to make such an impact, whether it's defensively or offensively. Now you're seeing it more offensively, being able to move the puck. And, you know, we need Doc playing like that. That's helps our team tremendously.
You know, I think it's been a pretty good season for Darnell Nurse. And I know that whenever his name comes up, the contract comes up, even if we're not talking about the contract. But you can only kind of, ultimately, you can only compare a player, I guess, to his potential. And I think for most of the season, Nurse has been playing to his potential. I think last year he didn't. I think he struggled at times. I think he's been pretty solid this year. And I think, look, we've seen Darnell for what, like a decade now, almost a decade. He was drafted in the top 10. He's not going to be an elite point-producing defenseman. But he still gets points. I mean, he's got a good little assist run here. And I think we saw sometimes he can be a little frustrating in the offensive zone. I mean, with 3-on-3 overtime, he did not make a great play against Calgary. He kind of skated himself into a corner. But he's doing a lot of good things. And I think if he is the Darnell Nurse who, like Knobloch said, skates, moves his feet, is a little bit mean and physical when needed, that's the type of player you need. That complements what some of the other guys on the back end can do. No? Yes?
No, I agree. I agree. I'm just looking at his numbers. I mean, yeah, he's having a great year. And I've said this before, but it almost not noticeable. You know, he's doing all the little things right where you're not noticing him like you would an Evan Bouchard. But I mean, you look at Evan Bouchard, he's played every game. There is something to be said about that.
Yeah, there is, yeah.
Right? So is Kulak. So is Brown. So is Podkolzin. Nuge has only missed one game. You know, having a guy like Bouchard who's plus 14, 58 points, Iron Man-ish, that says a lot. That means a lot to the team, too.
I hope I'm saying this right. Phyrogenaceous?
Nice.
I don't know even what that word means. I could have just said something incredibly filthy. He says it's been a definite rebound year. He's playing like a quality number 2/3D man, which is about as much as we can ask for. He'll never fulfill his contract, but his current form helps his team. Yeah, that's a fair way to put it. And again, you can talk about the contract all you wanted. Another side had to offer it to him.
Yeah. Oh,
right?
yeah.
So, you know, Norman, a comment, is there pre-post at Westgate tonight? No, they're here tonight, aren't they?
Yes. Let me double check that.
You know off the top of your head, Koob?
They are not on location.
Okay.
Today.
Sorry, Norm. Norm was hoping to go and get some late night pizza.
I think so.
All right. By the way, we've hit 130 thumbs. The show is half over. Incredible pace.
Wrong button.
What did you play? Oh, play more tables. Oh, I always like hearing the play more tables and games on. I'll never argue if you play that one. All right, let's look at buying or selling here for Damon Bunting. He's a consistent top-producing realtor in the greater Edmonton area for over 17 years. He and his team would love to help you find that right home or make the move from your current home. Community-driven, he understands what it takes to make a difference in our city. Check him out, DamonBunting.com, Instagram handle, Damon Bunting Real Estate. It seems like everybody is buying on Darnell Nurse being pretty solid. Let's touch on a couple other notes from the sports world. The National Football League having some off-season meetings, and they are doing stuff or thinking about doing stuff.
They're doing some stuff, but they're thinking about doing other things. Yeah, I mean, there's rule changes that are happening. The overtime rule that everybody wanted that happens only in the postseason is now going to be happening in the regular season as well.
Might as well.
You might as well. So essentially what this means is there's not the opportunity for whoever wins the coin toss to go down and score a touchdown and the game's over.
Right.
Both teams get a chance to handle the ball. It's still going to be a 10-minute period, but both teams will possess the ball. This one I loved. Expanded replay assistance from the booth. Okay? So we've seen it all too many times, especially on quarterbacks, okay, where it's either a roughing or a defenseless player, helmet to helmet. when you slow and the ref throws a penalty because it's a Patrick Mahomes or, these quarterbacks who they're clearly trying to protect, but the player in defense did nothing wrong.
Right.
Penalties on the ground. The replay booth can come in and say no.
So the replay guy, probably very mild-mannered, he can kind of buzz down and be like, say you're the ref. Hey, Jay. Hey, Jay. Hey, it's Reid up in the replay booth. Hey, you're having a great game. But I was just looking at that last play. You guys had the flag for a horse collar? Hey, man, we've looked at that. I think you got to pick that flag up. I know you got to announce it to everybody. But there just wasn't a horse collar, Jay. So we got to pick that flag up.
Keep up the good work.
Yeah, but keep up the good work. The rest of the game, you've been really good. Really good. Okay, talk later, buddy.
Yeah. Chat.
Maybe there'll be a little more
TTYL.
depth into that,
But it's for defenseless player, face mask, horse collar, tripping, and roughing or running into the kicker. Now the big one, the tush push, which everybody seems to, it's very polarizing, right?
It is.
So the Green Bay Packers originally brought forth that the tush push should be banned. Now, this has been delayed.
Koob, can you do a poll on YouTube? Should the NFL ban the tush push? Yes, no, or who gives a rat's ass?
Who gives a tush push?
Yeah, exactly.
Who gives a tush push?
No, don't put that. Just put yes or no.
Okay, but it needs to be approved by 24 out of the 32 teams to be banned.
Right, so they had to get half the teams to vote to say, let's vote on banning it, or let's talk about it more and consider banning it.
Yes.
Okay. So what's the concern here?
Well, for instance, this is illegal in the CFL because it's a question. It calls into player safety.
Okay.
Of pushing a player from behind and piling up on their legs, knee injuries, ankle injuries.
Right, because I was wondering why didn't CFL teams, where the quarterback sneak is much more common, obviously.
Yeah. Reid, why are teams wanting to ban this? If you don't like it, there's a couple things you could do. Now, one's going to cost you. And I'll just say it because the NFL is a cruel, rough, wicked, miserable sport. These are grown men that get paid a lot of money to hurt people.
Right.
Well, guess what? Next time you have a chance, crack whoever it is that's in the backfield, and whether you get thrown out of the game, that's going to happen to try and stop this. But if you don't like it and you feel like this works too well and you can't stop it, well, figure out a way to do it on your offensives when your offense has the ball.
Okay, so that's what has surprised me. Philadelphia does it, in 2023 and are really good at it. And then in this past year, what's that article say? That almost most of the attempts, over half the attempts of the tush push were Buffalo and Philadelphia.
Yes.
So really only two teams started doing it. And they rarely get stopped. So why is everybody else not doing it? And this is all funny to me is because the NFL has now figured out a way to do a play that the CFL has been doing for years. That's the quarterback sneak. Now, in the CFL, you get it's a yard off the ball. Because basically, how many yards do you need for a first down in the CFL? 9.
Well,
let's face it. If you get 9 on your first 2 plays, the quarterback sneak is like 99% automatic. And now the Eagles and the Bills, to some extent, who have a giant, beefy quarterback. Not that Hurts is small, but Allen's bigger than Hurts, isn't he?
Sure is.
So now they have a way to automatically get the first down. I get the argument. Could it be unsafe? Though I don't think. I believe Goodell said today that it's a safety issue, and the article I read said, but he doesn't have any numbers to prove that. I mean, if teams were if there were 10 teams doing the tush push and 5 of the quarterbacks got hurt, then you might say, okay, look, we can't have quarterbacks get hurt by their own guys pushing them. It's like you said, it's enough that other guys are trying to crush them. So, but I also understand the argument. It's a weird looking play. Like, it doesn't look like sort of a football play to get that much assistance from your teammates pushing you from behind. But also, if it's that hard to, what are they worried about? Are they worried about the injuries, or are they just worried about that some teams are going to get too good at it and then only need 9 yards for a first down?
That's exactly it.
Or have 2nd and 2 and just do it 3 times. I don't know.
If you were looking at this and saying, well, the integrity of the game is being questioned here. And now, but even that, I mean, still, if you don't like it, get better at it yourself and do it yourself. Because don't kid yourself. There is a lot of risk in that play, injury-wise. Piles are not where you want your superstars to be. You don't want them near that. A la your quarterback who's got the ball, or your grossly underpaid but way overvalued running back who's pushing his ass.
Right.
You don't want
or
either of them.
Tight ends back. Well, didn't Buffalo do it with Andrews? With one of their tight ends handling the ball?
I think it was Kincaid.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, but they'd have somebody come in so in case you took a blow, it wasn't your star quarterback. So yeah, throw the safety talk out of the window.
So there's another thing. Is the NFL going to keep doing the tush push, but teams will say, okay, but we don't want to put our quarterback in this situation.
Well, then
Where's some expendable guy?
Yeah.
Okay, three guys, three fattest guys, lowest on the depth chart. You're sorry, maybe not fattest, but you know what I mean.
No, but you don't want to expend your star quarterback, but you're willing to expend a backup tight end. Yeah. So I don't know. It's funny that is still being talked about. Just get better at it. Well, that's the thing. Why get better at defending it?
Why ban a play that does not appear to be unsafe?
Somebody's going to find a way to defend it, and then it's going to be over. Or Jalen Hurts is going to get knocked into next year, and it's going to be over.
Or then a team will say, okay, we can't do it.
Yeah. Other note, though, they are adding 18 cameras in every stadium to help with digital measurement of the ball. Because you saw so many times last year, especially in the playoffs, where the ball was spotted was under major scrutiny.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Now, the chain gang will still be there. The old chain gang. They'll still be there in a secondary backup role. But it's going to be
all digital now to determine first downs.
Yes.
That's amazing.
I like that.
I'm buying on that. Hopefully it's accurate. I think I'm selling on banning the tush push, though there are some things that bug me about it. Just maybe that it looks weird.
It's an odd play.
But I guess it's just there now. It's the NFL version of a quarterback sneak.
Well, why don't you line up on the defensive side and have three linebackers pushing that 380-pound block that's in the center of your defensive line, the defensive tackle? Push him. Go push on push. You push there, we're going to push here.
Yeah.
It's like a tug of war. Whoever's got the strongest team's going to win.
But then they'll just roll out and run for a lot of yards.
Yeah.
But it shouldn't be banned because it gives the offense too much of an advantage. Like if they're really concerned about player safety, then okay, I get it. But if it's just too effective a play, well, too bad. Like what are they going to ban? Like 4-yard outs? I don't know. Keep giving us the thumbs up on YouTube. We are on the verge of already getting to 150. So it would be really cool to get it this quickly in the show. Really good audience today. Should I give the third clue? I'll do the third clue.
Okay.
Hudson's Canada's Pub mystery athlete of the game. You must text your guesses to 780-218-9999. River Cree Resort and Casino inbox. I think somebody's now going to get it. Okay. The third clue is bear. So the clues are 2017, 22, and bear.
BEAR.
Yes.
Not like bear skin.
BEAR is the clue. All right. We will have a bit of a very mild, a very subdued birthday celebration. Oh, I better do a limerick. We've had limericks coming in. Bronco Nick emailing Reid at EdmontonSportsTalk.com. Hey, sorry, Koob. We will get to you eventually. Koob's like, God, I hate this guy. Today, Reid Wilkins turns 51. Hopefully he has some fun. Popeyes to chew, 6 o'clock for brew, and maybe to bed by 1. That's pretty good. I probably will be up a little later tonight because I don't work tomorrow, and the hockey game is going to go till about 10:45, 10:50. All right, 4:43. Here's the Koob.
Evander Kane and Trent Frederick were on the ice for the Oilers practice this morning, and Connor McDavid also hit the ice in a non-contact jersey. Head coach Chris Knobloch saying that McDavid should be back before the playoffs. It's Oilers Golden Knights tonight with Tom Gazzola and Hernan Salas previewing the matchup during the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame show at 7 right here on EST. We also see the Jets meeting the Kings, Senators battling the Sabres, while the Preds and Blue Jackets duke it out on a 10-game NHL slate. And WHL playoff action has 7 games. The Oil Kings look to take a 2-1 series lead over the Raiders. And on the court, Toronto visits Chicago. The 76ers take on the Knicks while the Timberwolves tip off against the Nuggets. 7 games around the association, and fresh off a 5-2 win against the Nationals yesterday, Toronto replays Washington. 2 games are live right now, both of them scoreless at the top of the first. Rangers and Reds have the Reds, while the Mets and Marlins clash. This sports update is brought to you by Advantage Sports Medicine and Physiotherapy. Get treated like a pro with their highly skilled crew. Whether you're recovering from an injury or looking to enhance your performance, get the same locker room approach that's trusted by the best in the game. Visit their website at advantagesportmed.ca. A bit of a birthday celebration after a quick break. I'm Zachary Kubusch, and you're up to date.
Get your fix every single game with the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame and postgame shows with Tom Gazzola and Hernan Salas. Whether it's breaking down the starting lineup, predicting key matchups, or diving deep into the game's biggest moments, Tom and Hernan are here to give you the best insight and analysis in the city. After the final horn, get the breakdown of every key moment, performance, and player reactions. It's your one-stop shop for all things game day. Catch the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame and postgame shows with Tom Gazzola and Hernan Salas, only on Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
You've always known GCL Diesel as the experts in diesel fuel systems, but did you know that GCL is also your source for turbochargers and turbo repair? As a turbo supplier for Garrett, Borg Warner, and Holset, GCL can provide genuine original equipment turbos at wholesale prices. Whether it's diesel, gas, natural gas, or performance, we can provide you with the turbo or custom repair you require. Turbo questions? We've got turbo answers. Visit us in the West End or online at gcldiesel.com. GCL Diesel, turbochargers, understood.
Take your career to the next level with Nate's Construction Leadership and Supervision Program, a perfect tool for professionals looking to advance their role or an organization needing to develop leaders. Learn more about safety supervision, scheduling, cost control, and most importantly, how to lead a team. For more information and to register, visit nate.ca/CLSP to take your career to another level.
Since 1952, William Huff has been the heartbeat of Edmonton's advertising world. From humble beginnings to a citywide powerhouse, we've been the go-to for signage from print to design and installation. Partnering with Edmonton's top sports franchises and major events, we've helped shape the city's global reputation. Our secret? Unmatched customer service, decades of experience, and a passion for excellence we call the William Huff Advantage. Visit us online at williamhuff.com.
This sounds like it would be the music for like an NBA video game or something like that. What is this from? Is this another one of the YouTube cuts?
It's one of the YouTube cuts, but it sounds like an NBA Jam game. Yeah.
And now, Spurs, Nuggets. He's heating up. Limerick here from Tube Socks. There was once a fellow named Reid whose cravings were hard to impede. With Popeyes in hand, he'll feast like a man on chicken sandwiches. That's all he needs. Pretty good. Big Uke has a limerick as well. We'll get to that a little bit later on. Read at EdmontonSportsTalk.com. Somebody might have won the mystery player. It is my birthday. I'm 51 for those of you, for some reason, concerned about my age. So Jay brought cupcakes for the office. Now, I'm not a big sweets person. I like my chocolate bark that my mom gives me. I like chips. Those aren't sweets. But Jay brought cupcakes for everybody, not just for me. So that was pretty nice. I will say, Jay, this is appreciated, but not necessary, and does not need to be repeated next year. That is how I will phrase that. Jay knew this would be my reaction, probably.
Probably. Yeah, you're not
It's thoughtful of you.
Yeah.
But we can't do this and plus we can't do it every single person's birthday. People might be upset that I got this and they didn't get it.
Everybody had one.
True.
So it's not like, there's
a candle.
I just said, yeah.
There's an unlit candle. I just blew it out.
Now, safety.
I will say this, especially for the benefit of my mother who's probably tuning in. These are Flirt cupcakes. They specifically do not use nuts.
No nuts, no dairy in the whole facility. So I had to track this down for Riedrich.
I'm not going to be able to eat this all
I
at
just
once.
said
Be
that
taking this home.
all we needed left was 3 for this show. So the Koob could partake. The Koob surprised me there. He chose the Red Velvet.
That's an Atlanta Miles song. Oh, no, sorry. That's Black Velvet.
So happy birthday, Reid.
I got to
I don't know. We're going to make a mess
maybe
of
I'll
this.
get some icing on it. Okay.
All right.
And I will not be able to finish this for 2 reasons. We're on air.
Oh, boy. It's all over my face.
Oh, it's very good.
Very good.
Extremely good.
What? Oh.
I'll slowly eat this over the course of the rest of the day.
This was salted caramel.
I think so, yeah.
Not bad.
Well, it's very good. Salted caramel is a great flavor.
How soon would you go into anaphylactic shock if you did?
Oh, we would know by now. If
would.
there was that much nut in it, yeah. Well, it wouldn't be anaphylactic, but I would know something was wrong.
So we're all good.
We're good, yeah.
'Cause we were talking. I mean, if I set this all up and then poor Reid had a reaction, I would really
It's
feel
very chocolatey. Like I'm going to break out in pimples tomorrow.
You're too old for that.
I still get the occasional pimple. I had fairly bad acne in high school.
I don't think you'd break out.
Well, I don't know. Well, my beard would hide most of it. So we were talking today. Yes, Dash. This is Michelle. And Dash. I interviewed Michelle. She was at Ched. Sometimes in the playoffs, we would do a fan of the night segment that was sponsored, and so I try to find some interesting local Oilers fan, and she was the fan of the night once. And yeah, she's had flirt cupcakes for a while. Where is it? It's on White and 90,
right by the Faculty Saint Jean.
So French Quarter-ish.
It's on the east side of the Mill Creek Ravine.
Right. Okay. Yeah. These are really good. But I don't know if I'm going to be able to finish this
They
all
are
during the
rich.
show. They're good. So Jay and I were talking.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, did anybody win Hudson's Canada's Pub Mystery Athlete of the Game?
No.
Nobody got it. I thought somebody was going to get it. So the clues are 2017, 22, and Bear. I am actually surprised nobody got it, but somewhat proud because I like stumping people because I'm an annoying little turd like that. So this got Jay and I talking. Good. And we thought we'd put it out there to the audience as well about what is the birthday etiquette in your office? Like if it's someone's birthday, is there a card that goes around? Is it every birthday? Is it just milestone birthdays? Is it only the new person's birthday? And then, I'll say this is about as much as I would have accepted. Like, Jasmine was like, I was going to break you a cake and bring it in, but she's got a broken foot. And I was like, yeah, it's probably good. Like, there's a point where I'm like, okay, I get it. It's my birthday. It's a day. But newsflash for everybody, I've had them before. I'm hoping to have a few more. But I don't need it to be like, oh my God, it's someone's birthday. Like, hey, if it's someone's birthday, I like to know when my colleagues' birthdays are. I like to say, hey, happy birthday, or send them a text, whatever. That's cool. But if I would have come in today and there were like balloons set up and multiple cards and some sort of decorations.
We're adults.
Yeah.
We don't need
but
that.
I think in some offices they might do that.
I just thought it would be a nice gesture.
Well, you're a very thoughtful man, which I am not.
And I made sure to get enough for the whole crew.
Right.
So everybody enjoyed a cupcake.
Oh, these are good.
These
are
good.
delicious.
They are good.
But
so yeah, you don't want to go over the top. And especially there are, like, I'll just say it. Matthew Iwanek, he almost would rather you not know what his birthday is. Right? He does not.
Well, people are going to find out.
They are, but if then that's fine. I don't care. But am I expecting anything at work?
No. Like, I'll tell you this. I am not doing this for you.
Okay. I'll take it.
But see, but I do little things along the way.
You do.
Sometimes you get a cruffin.
You bring me cruffins.
Yeah.
And it's the little things that count. You know, Valentine's Day isn't the only day to get flowers for your significant other.
Yeah, or your co-host.
Right? and we share pretzels together all the time and different salty goods.
I remember when this was a while ago, and I was like probably 15, 16 years ago, I was working at City TV, and one of my buddies had a girlfriend, and he was, what?
Did he ever
Did I ever tell him, hey man, you need to? So
too good.
He was like, yeah, it's her birthday coming up, and I was like, oh cool, what are you guys gonna do? And he's like, well, we're going out like next weekend, like 2 weekends after the birthday. And I was like, oh geez, you guys supposed to be pretty busy, or like work schedules don't coincide, or you couldn't get a reservation at where you wanted to go until then. I'm like asking why the birthday date is like so far, like 16 days after her birthday. And he's like, Reid, her and her friend group, each birthday is about a 1 to 2 week celebration for each woman.
Get out of here.
Yes, like we're going to the spa and we're doing pedicures, and then we're doing a wine night, and then we're doing a coffee night, and then we're doing a girls bowling night, and then we're going to go to a nightclub and pretend we're 18 night, and then it's the big fancy dinner. So he's like, there's no room for me in the schedule to celebrate the birthday until after. Like,
that's ridiculous.
Is that
for
common
real?
though? Especially with younger women? Like I hate to be possibly with Jasmine's in there. Like, is it, I don't want to be a little bit sexist about it, but I can't imagine guys saying, like, unless it's somebody's 40th or 50th and it's like a golf trip.
Maybe then,
but
that's on purpose.
Like
you're trying to leave to get away,
to
go
get away
golf
from everybody else.
And
like this was like she's in the same city, but she's told her boyfriend, like, yeah, we'll go out when I'm done with the girls.
No.
Like, is that common, Jasmine? I don't know.
No.
And this was 15 years ago. Maybe there was a period of time.
I've known my wife since she was 21. That would never happen. A get together, sure. Maybe on a 30 or 40th. I know I've thrown her a little bit of an extra bash.
Right.
But no. I mean, and it's funny. It is true. As you get older, it's like, okay, cool. See ya.
Yeah, and you understand that. Oh, I'm eating a cupcake.
You're into that. Did you have a piece of the caramel popcorn?
Yeah, it's good.
It is good. Koob, how's the red velvet over there?
Oh, I dummied that thing.
It's
it was
gone?
fantastic.
You
Oh
ate it
yeah.
already.
Koob.
I was waiting to dig in.
You. Good for you.
But you understand that. I mean, because I know a lot of people will deflect, but I think you also have to understand people want to acknowledge you and your birthday.
Yeah,
don't say anything. Don't, like, I understand if you want to say, like, hey, thanks. Let's not make a big deal about it. Thanks, everybody. Oh, you're getting me a coffee. Okay, thanks. That's why, and I think you already know this about me.
I did.
Like, this is probably the maximum you would have dared. Like a balloon, would have you ever brought in a balloon?
No, because that's lame. What are you going to do with a balloon? At least this you can enjoy and eat.
Yeah, and it's good.
It's flavorful.
I might have to save the rest for dessert tonight, though.
Yeah, you really got into that.
Ate about 40% of it. How's yours going?
I had a bite. That might suffice.
Jasmine in the nasty chat, girls are different.
Yeah.
Breaking news, everybody.
Hulu Boy Steve, the level of ignoring the boyfriend is uncommon, but the idea of a birthday week is definitely a thing?
Really?
Oh, God. Jasmine says, my friends and I celebrate the whole week/month.
Come on. She's just doing that to irritate me.
I think so.
She's just doing that to make me say, come on. Like, month?
Yeah, no.
Well, it's my birthday today. I'm celebrating until April 30th. That's absurd.
The only reason I would celebrate on a day other than your birthday, like say for my wife, would be to surprise her.
Right.
With something.
Yeah.
That's it.
I mean, I have one of my best friends, her birthday is April 11th. So we are going out for dinner to a nicer place on April 10th.
Sure.
So it's closer to hers, but it's basically for both because I said, do you want to do something for our birthdays? And she has a birthday that's ending in a 0. So,
yeah,
a little bit more of a benchmark one. But it's not like we're intentionally, let's do stuff all month. It's like, hey, here's a date we can both go and have a nice friendship activity, as we like to call them.
That's crazy.
All right. Dash at Heavy Hockey, you're very funny, but I'm not reading all your stuff on air because it's just going to encourage others and get out of control. Boy, why is there chocolate all over my notes?
There's
chocolate everywhere. Flirt cupcakes, very good. We are eating Flirt cupcakes in the Canadian Brewhouse studio. UFC 314 goes down at the Canadian Brewhouse on April 12th. Watch every knockout on the most TVs with epic food and drinks in the best atmosphere. Don't miss the action. Our house is your house. Here comes the 5 o'clock break. We still got our game of the night, Oilers chat, birthday chat. Who knows where else we're going to go. Back in a couple minutes.
The EST Hangout.
And he's like, softball or regular? What is going on here?
Well, we had a really good ball, and it was my favorite ball. It was the smallest one, and it was hard. I liked how it felt in my hand. We always played with that one, and I liked it a lot. But yesterday, for whatever reason, Dusty felt like
little child over there
inflating it.
The EST Hangout, presented by Sentinel Storage. Weekday mornings 9 to 11, only on Edmonton Sports Talk. Your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
Make beer cheap again at the Canadian Brewhouse. Grab an ice cold Molson Canadian Stein for just $4.50. That's 25% off. Monday to Friday, open until 7 p.m. Why wait? Grab your crew and make the most of this awesome deal while it lasts.
At Mind 360, we invite you to embark on your mental health journey in a safe and comfortable space. Conveniently located in St. Albert, Mind 360 has a diverse team of experienced clinicians that offer a broad range of tailored services for children, adults, and families. Furthermore, we are very proud to serve our military, veterans, and first responders. If you're looking for counseling, treatment, or assessment, understand that you are not alone. Contact Mind 360 at mind360.ca to book an appointment today.
Looking for quality building materials and friendly advice? Visit us at Windsor Plywood Leduc, family owned and locally run since 1993. From interior materials for doors, flooring, baseboards, and all the finishing touches to all you need for your outdoor projects like cedar lumber for decks and fences, plus all the plywood you'd need. Our full-time on-staff carpenter can help with anything odd-sized or custom, and from domestic hardwoods to exotic selections, we've got you covered. And if we don't have it, we'll track it down for you. Windsor Plywood Leduc. We're the experts you need to know.
Oilers head coach Chris Knobloch said that Connor McDavid should be back before the start of playoffs, with the Edmonton captain practicing with the team in a non-contact jersey alongside Trent Frederick and Evander Kane. The Oilers will be without Matthias Ekholm and Stuart Skinner when they battle the Golden Knights tonight. And to preview the matchup, Tom Gazzola and Hernan Salas go live for the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame show here at 7. Only on EST. And 4 other games are about to get underway in just a moment. Caps challenge the Bruins, Canadians, and Panthers drop the puck while the Sabres and Senators go at it. 7 games in WHL playoff action. It's the Oil Kings meeting the Raiders, Prince George in Portland, and Saskatoon hosting Calgary. On the court, the Raptors and Bulls tip off. Golden State visits Memphis, while Phoenix and Milwaukee have a date with 7 games in the NBA. And it's Jays Nationals rematch. Toronto beat Washington 5-2 yesterday. 13 games around the MLB, 2 of which are live right now at the bottom of the second. The Rangers are up 1-0 on the Reds, while it's 2-1 Marlins over Mets, also at the bottom of the second. I'm Zachary Kubusch. That was your sports update. The third and final hour of the Reid Wilkins Show starts right now.
All right, one of my best friends has photoshopped a picture of me with Joe Elliott, the lead singer of Def Leppard, and put a speech balloon of Joe Elliott screaming, "Happy birthday, Wilkie."
Nice.
So that's the latest text I've got there. It's been a fun day. Hopefully a fun game tonight. A good test for the Oilers. Without McDavid, without Ekholm, the Golden Knights are without Pietrangelo and Hurdle. Eichel having... What were you telling me about Eichel? He's 4th. Is he 4th in
Fourth
scoring?
in NHL scoring, yeah. What has he got this year? Jack Eichel. 93 points in 72 games.
So he'll get 100 points.
Plus 35.
Okay, you were telling me. So the top 5 scorers are McKinnon, Kucherov's ahead of Leon, then Eichel, and then was it Marner is 5th?
Yes.
Wow. And all those teams will be in the playoffs, right? Yeah. Tampa Bay is now... Tampa Bay is placed ahead of Florida on the tiebreaker of regulation wins.
Bit of a slide for Florida here. I mean, that's anything.
Well, they got Marchand now.
That Eastern Conference race is going to be interesting to watch over the next couple weeks.
Got a limerick from the Big Uke to read at EdmontonSportsTalk.com. Happy birthday to the man we call Reid. Today on the show, we celebrate indeed. Cheers and fun. Beers maybe one. We're also happy that from his old station, he is freed. Okay, that's from the Big Uke. You can also text us 780-218-9999. That is the afternoon inbox presented by River Cree Resort and Casino, home of the kitchen restaurant, all-you-can-eat prime rib buffet for just $49.99 every Sunday. That is from 4 to 10 p.m. Now, we have a correct guess for the Hudson's Canada's Pub Mystery Athlete of the Game, but we do not have a winner.
That's correct. Somebody that likes to play, that is on the no-fly zone list,
right?
Currently, has got it correct.
Because he has won recently, so therefore is not eligible for a couple more games.
Alicia Hemming, Reid, is 23 years old, and birthdays with my friend group are always multiple day occasions, to which I replied, "Oh, wow, isn't it tiring?"
That's the other thing.
And she said, "Yeah, it gets old pretty quick until it's your turn, of course." I just think of how tired I would be. Shanzi says, "Boys, birthday weeks are certainly a thing, mostly for 35 and younger nowadays."
Okay.
God, thank God I'm older than that.
Chris says, "Why are Kane and McDavid and Frederick all in Vegas if they are all hurt?" Well, because they're
camaraderie,
ramping up. Yeah, camaraderie. Well, first of all, Frederick, hopefully he's ramping up to play soon. Same with McDavid. I mean, if they're able to practice, you want them out there practicing and getting back as close to game condition as possible. We know Kane won't play for a while, but he's healthy. He hasn't been on the ice much, so he's taking part in practices as well. It's not uncommon to have players coming back from injury rejoin the practices for a few practices before they play. So yeah, they're gonna take guys I mean, this is with McDavid specifically. I think this is great news that he traveled. I mean, maybe he can play on Thursday or Saturday.
He was on the ice. I mean, that's perfect. There's obviously nothing too serious.
There's just chocolate everywhere.
Yeah, I noticed that. You really
cupcake
really
stuff.
got into that.
Well, a lot of crumbs for Dusty and Eric in the morning. A little bit of leftovers.
Hey, it's my month to clean.
Is it yours? Oh, this is your month to clean?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's all right. We need, half a dozen thumbs to get to 155, which would be pretty good. So keep clicking away. If you're taking us in on YouTube, subscribe to the channel if you haven't. You can also get us on the iHeartRadio app, the TuneIn Radio app, and wherever you get your podcast as well. Make sure you subscribe to each individual show, including the Reid Wilkins Show with Jason Milne. What else? Do we have other stuff on birthday etiquette coming in?
Yeah, Mike outside of Edmonton says, "I'm with Reid. I prefer it if nobody knows." I don't know if you prefer nobody knows.
No, people are going to be interested, right?
I work with a guy who knows every birthday, obscure anniversary, work anniversary. He says it's so annoying. And Big Dave from Nisku Glass. When it's someone's birthday at Nisku Glass, we buy lunch for the crew at the restaurant of the birthday boy or girl's choice. Wow.
Well, that's pretty good.
That's great.
No, you couldn't have a huge office necessarily to do that, though. Or maybe it's a sector. Maybe it's just a...
Nisku Glass is it's not like a chain store.
Oh, yeah.
Where
the Flames schedule.
Yeah, we went over this yesterday
when we had
I believe they have
when we had
Colorado
schedule
twice.
stuff. Well, we're at 155 by the way, baby.
Yeah, like
whoa. Because Coyote Steve is saying, is the Flames schedule a little soft the rest of the way?
Well, they got the Golden Knights twice. They got Minnesota, but they do have the Sharks twice. And they have the Kings to end the season. on April 17th.
I'm going to go to tankathon.com because they rank the strength of schedule based on the winning points percentage of your opponents the rest of the way. So Edmonton now has the 6th easiest schedule. They were, I think, 5th last time we looked. Calgary has the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Calgary has the 9th easiest schedule, according to tankathon.com. The most difficult schedule the rest of the way, for example, would be Detroit. So Calgary, Vegas twice is tough. LA is tough. Mini, they're how many points behind Mini are they? Could be a huge game for them if they keep doing well. So, one of the easier schedules in the National Hockey League. But according to tankathon.com, and just Western Conference teams, the Oilers have the 2nd easiest remaining schedule. Minnesota has the easiest. So it's a good question. Calgary is still going to be in tough.
Very.
Right. Because how many points do they have to make up? Calgary's 5 points behind St. Louis with 2 games in hand. So the games in hand aren't enough. You also have to remember St. Louis has gone 16-2-2 in their last 20 games. It's insane.
Yeah, but do you want to dive into that?
Sure.
Because Matt at Wanaka actually mentioned this to me, that, they have a great record of late, but let's look at this. So let's go back 16 games, you say?
Sorry, which team?
St. Louis.
Sorry, I got distracted.
Whose schedule are we looking at?
Because my mom is texting me, she's saying, you have to do something for Jay and his birthday. You can't not do it. Okay, Mom. It's in October.
God bless you, Louise. Thank you. So March 7th, they beat the Ducks. Then they beat the Kings, Penguins, Minnesota, Anaheim, Predators, Canucks, Blackhawks, Predators, Canadians, Predators.
So what, St. Louis has beaten the Predators 3 times in the last month and a half or twice?
3 times. I mean,
they're only beating easy teams, everybody.
Well, there you go. That's the question. There it is, Reid.
They're really good.
I mean, they're playing well. It doesn't matter who you're against. Playing.
They just beat Colorado. What do they play? Detroit tonight. That's the Blues are here April 9th. That's going to be a fun atmosphere for that game.
Yeah.
I hear they got this forward, Hollywood or something like that.
No, it's Hollingway.
Hollingway, yes.
Yeah. He's really good.
Todd Hollingsworth, former LA Dodger. It's his son. All right. Oh, my goodness. Andy has sent in a limerick as well. Reid Wilkins, he's a wonderful cat, and his show, well, it's just where it's at. Tonight will be fun. He celebrates 51. Got to say, though, he looks way older than that.
Thank you.
Pretty good. Coming in from Andy to read at EdmontonSportsTalk.com. Okay, we got to do the game of the night. Some of them are starting already, I think. For Play More Tables and Games, they'll all be over. Oh, my game of the night is this game. Oh, it ended 3 hours ago. Play more tables and games, from ping pong and pool tables to darts and dome hockey, plus all the classic arcade action you could ask for. Visit Canada's Game Room experts. Locations in Edmonton and Calgary are online at playmoregames.ca. All right. So we're both assuming that we're picking Edmonton Vegas, so we'll pick other ones. You want to go first?
Jets at Kings, 8:30.
Oh, now I have to pick even another one.
There you go. I got you to it. Yes, I mean, you're going to be scoreboard watching tonight if you're an Oilers fan for sure. This would be a 4-point game if the Oilers can somehow pick up a win in Vegas. I mean, the Jets are a tough team, so I just don't know. I have a feeling about it. I told you about it earlier. I'm not too, how in depth I want to get, but I think the Oilers could pull this out.
All right, so I have to pick a tertiary, my tertiary choice.
Well, the NIT is still on.
I'm sure it is, Jay. To crown the 69th best team in college basketball.
Yeah, somebody's got to win it.
I will go with, I'll pick Detroit St. Louis to see if the Blues can win their 10th in a row. I will take, Buffalo Ottawa would be up there because, Ottawa's already in. I was looking at the wrong line on the standings. Canadians don't play. Oh, yeah, Florida-Montreal. Sorry, Florida-Montreal, because Montreal is tied with the Rangers for the final playoff spot in the East, so I'll pick that one. Like clearly I was upset I didn't get my first 2 choices, and now I'm giving 18 choices. Well, and the Flames playing again against Utah. I mean, Calgary.
Flames are underdogs in that game.
They need to go. Okay, so they got 9 games left. Let's say they went 7-2. That gets them to 96 points. But then Minnesota or St. Louis only need to go 500. The Calgary's in gotta have it territory here.
Some would say must win.
I would not though. I would not be one of them.
You know what I'd say? More than gotta have it, can't lose.
Yeah, I guess. Sure. James says, how many OT wins against bad teams for the Blues? I don't know how many. You got to tell me.
Nobody's gotten the clue yet.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Well, this should not be that hard. So Mex got it, but Mex is currently ineligible. How is he so good at it? He just separates himself. So the first clue, 2017. Second clue, 22. Third clue, Bear, B-E-A-R.
My parents just wish you happy birthday.
Thank you.
From Bob and Pearl.
Bob and Pearl.
There you go.
Oh, yeah. We both have Bobs for dads.
That's right. We both have Bobs for dads. It's an interesting thing to say.
Okay, do I give this clue or do I say the other team that I was talking about? And do I say, yeah, we can do it now.
Yeah.
So should I go right to this clue or should I say this clue?
You say that one.
All right. So the fourth clue for the Hudson's Canada's Pub mystery athlete of the game is Oilers. Okay? That should give it away. So the clues are 2017, 22, Bear, Oilers. That is an absolute giveaway. Yeah, you're going to get a winner within the next 20 seconds probably.
I'm watching. Reid, who do you think is the... Oh, sorry, go ahead.
I got a what would sixth be? CCary? Game of the... We got to say Oil Kings PA. We were neglectful not to say that.
Sure.
Coming up at Rogers Place at 7, Game 3 of that best of 7 series. Sorry, I ruined your train.
No train's ruined here. Who would you say is the odds favorite right now to win the Stanley Cup? Just in the sports books.
Oh, I don't even look at this kind of stuff. Who would be the odds-on favorite to win the Stanley Cup? I'm going to say they have Washington as the favorite. No?
No.
Okay, Jets.
Washington and the Jets, as far as the books go, aren't even in the top 5. Riddle me this.
Here's now. I have never run a casino.
Me neither.
Yet.
I remember when Reid opened his casino, he said, "Bookbinder, I need to put together these rules and regulations for my casino, but I have them on papers scattered about my office. Is there some way you could bind them into a single book, perhaps, and then we could easily refer to them whenever we needed to?"
Don't forget menus.
Sorry?
Don't forget menus.
Oh, and the menus as well.
Yeah.
All right. So I have never run a casino. But the way I believe that some of these odds are done is they don't just look at who's actually doing well. They look at what they think people will bet on. Right? Like if the Dallas Cowboys were going to be the worst team in the NFL, they probably wouldn't have the worst Super Bowl odds because a lot of people are going to bet on them. And they wouldn't want to risk the Cowboys. Like they're never going to have odds like they did for that Leicester City team in the Premier League about 8 years ago. I did a horrible job of explaining that to everybody. But they're also going off who do they think people are going to bet on or not bet on. And casinos are not in the business of losing money.
I know.
Right.
So it's like, what do they know that we don't? That's what...
Okay, so we got a winner? Okay, hold on to it for a second. So, is this on CoolBet?
Yes.
So, who are their top 5 Stanley Cup favorites according to the betting odds? And neither Washington nor Winnipeg is in the top 5.
No.
Dallas.
They're the second likeliest.
Okay.
Who's the favorite?
They don't have the Leafs.
Nope.
Are the Leafs in the top 5?
No.
Okay. Oh, Vegas.
Nope.
Is not in the top 5.
They're the 5th. Sorry.
Okay, I'm trying to get the top 5 now, but I still don't have the favorite. Colorado.
3rd.
And Winnipeg and Washington are not in the top. Tampa Bay.
6th.
Florida.
Bing, bing, bing.
That's number 1. So then who's number 4? Let me guess. Oilers.
Yes.
But the Oilers would have been the favorites at the beginning of the year. So did they just fluctuate based off? I don't know how it works.
Well, it certainly doesn't work that the team that has the best record, heading into the playoffs is the favorite. Because then Washington and Winnipeg would be up there.
So they're not even in the top 7.
Washington's plus 1,100 right now.
Okay, so where are Winnipeg and Washington overall? 7th and 8th?
8th and 9th.
Who's
followed by
7th?
Carolina.
Okay, but wow, that's surprising.
I knew you'd be shocked by this.
Here, the Big Uke says it's also based on who people have already bet on too. Yes. If lots are betting on one team, then their odds get worse. Right. Casino Dealer Jay, you're right about popular long shots. If a lot of people bet on them, then they odds shorten to limit liability. That's what I was trying to. Thank you, Casino Dealer Jay, for saying in about 20 words what I said in 200, but actually didn't say in 200. That's what I meant. Keep giving us the thumbs up, by the way. If you are on YouTube, you can participate in the nasty chat. We have gotten past 155 thumbs. So what we're going to do is Jay is going to give me 2 words of the day, and I'm going to give him a word of the day.
Oh,
to have a little bit more fun.
I thought I'd give you one.
Oh, we're doing one each?
Well, to get to 2, or do you want, your call, bro.
My call. By the way, I am off the rest of the week. No, I have nothing special planned, everybody, and it has nothing to do with my birthday.
Going away for your birthday?
Yeah, I took a birthday week. You can't expect me to work. I went into a Wannick's office, and I shut the door. I was like, hey, bro, don't work after April 1st. Okay? Got to get over my birthday. Okay, bro? And Matthew's like, well, what do you mean, Reid?
Oh, no. Done him dirty. Maddie is going to be sitting in your seat.
Matthew's going to be in for me the rest of the week. But you guys already got some great guests lined up, and it'll be a lot of fun chat. A lot of Oilers to talk about. But who knows? Maybe I think I might still be on Dustin. Do my Thursday morning hit with him. All right, we're going to unveil the winner for the Hudson's Canada's Pub Mystery Athlete of the Game. When we get back, we'll recap setting the stage for the Oilers game tonight. Do words of the day.
We got to talk about Koob's golf.
Oh yeah, I watched
it.
Thank God you're keeping the show on the rails.
I watched it.
I'm already on vacation mode, brah. You're going to be like, God, Reid was so checked out yesterday.
Yeah, it's 3:45. He was
5:55, and at 5:22, he's already checked out. Why did you just send him home, Matthew?
Well, he hosts the show every day, Jay. I mean, there's a certain amount of...
All right, here's the Koob.
In Sin City, the Oilers test their luck against the Golden Knights. Catch the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame show with Tom Gazzola and Hernan Salas as they go live at 7 to preview the action right here on EST. 9 other games around the league, 4 of which are live. Josh Anderson has the Canadiens up 1-0 on the Panthers. Kirill Marchenko with the only goal to give a 1-0 lead to Columbus over Nashville. It's scoreless between the Sabres and Senators, and the Caps and Bruins are locked at zeros with all those games midway through the first. And it's Game 3 between Edmonton and Prince Albert in the WHL playoffs. There's 6 other matchups on tap. In the NBA, there's 7 games. Raptors face the Bulls. Trailblazers clash with the Hawks, while the Magic and Spurs throw it down. In baseball, it's Blue Jays taking on the Nationals. 5 games are live. Right now, the Rangers are up 1-0 on the Reds at the top of the 4th. It's tied 2-2 between the Marlins and the Mets at the bottom of the 3rd, while the Rays have an early lead on the Pirates, 3-0 at the bottom of the 1st. This sports update is brought to you by Windsor Plywood Leduc, locally owned and operated, serving Leduc and surrounding areas since '93. They have doors, flooring, baseboards, and of course, they got plywood. Go see the knowledgeable staff today at Windsor Plywood Leduc. The Reid Wilkins Show returns after a brief break. I'm Zachary Kubusch, keeping you up to date.
The Nielsen Show with Lieutenant Eric.
Craig Button for Pro-Am Sports.
That game on Saturday versus the Flames, and all of a sudden, 50th goal, it's 2-2. You get to overtime. Leon just decided that's my game. I'm winning the game right now, and it's over. He's been special this year. It's not amazing to me. I mean, he's a great player. He's a difference maker. It's not like he's had a lot of help on the flanks this year.
The Nielsen Show with Lieutenant Eric, presented by South Fort Chevrolet. Weekday mornings 6 to 9, only on Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
Love is in the air. I love you. And you? And you? And you! Why choose between your beloved items? Sentinel Storage, keeping your treasures safe to be loved again. Try 4 weeks free. Details at sentinelstorage.ca.
Missing the course? The Canadian Ice House is here to keep your skills sharp. Trackman golf simulators are open. Real golf action right in downtown Edmonton. Don't let the off-season slow you down. Visit us in-store or check out thecanadianicehouse.com for all the details.
Hey Edmonton, ready to take advantage of lower rates and better pricing? South Fort Chevrolet in Fort Saskatchewan has you covered. From rugged trucks to sleek SUVs. And with over 40 years in business, you can trust that you're getting the best deal on your new ride. As the proud title sponsor of the Nielsen Show, EST listeners can drive a little to save a lot with South Fort Chevrolet's transparent pricing and down-to-earth sales team. Visit us today in Fort Saskatchewan or online at southfortchev.com.
Your home for live music and great performances is the River Cree Resort and Casino. Don't miss the East LA rock and roll legend with the world sound Los Lobos at the River Cree Resort and Casino May 15th.
Don't worry, baby, what the world may bring. Well, don't worry, baby.
Get your tickets at rivercreeresort.com. River Cree Resort and Casino. Excitement? Bet on it.
Oilers Golden Knights, 8 o'clock game this evening. Yeah, most of the Oilers' remaining games are 7:30 or later. They got a matinee coming up on Sunday, but it's an 8:30 game against the Sharks on Thursday night. So 8 o'clock game tonight and 7 o'clock on this very station, Edmonton Sports Talk, for the GCL Diesel pregame show with Tom Gazzola and Hernan Salas. Oilers head coach Chris Knobloch with a thought or two on the Vegas Golden Knights.
Their defense is very good. They're big. They can also move the puck. And, for their system, any team that plays a good system, the best way is just it's playing fast, getting them when there's a change of possession. Anytime everyone's in position, then it's usually there's not very often there's a breakdown. For us to get those opportunities in the offensive zone, it's catching them when they're out of position, and that's not necessarily a structural thing. It's just playing off instincts.
And defenseman Darnell Nurse was asked about the Oilers' recent play.
I think it's been trending in the right direction. I think there's been games in pockets probably over the last 15 where we felt pretty close to the standard that we want to play at. With that said, there's always room for improvement. I think when we talk about our team, we want to have success. And first and foremost comes down to defending, and so that's got to be tidy, especially over these next 9 games, but especially tonight.
Do you buy that it's trending in the right direction? Like there's this, we're talking about, you had a great question yesterday for Kalo, hot or healthy for the playoffs. I mean, he said usually healthy, though you don't want to go in losing 8-1 every game. Do you buy that, though, that you think there's the Oilers are playing fairly well most of the time lately?
No, I don't. But I do buy that they are trending in the right direction because of the health side of things. I mean, obviously, Leon appears to be pretty healthy. But if you get a fresh, rested Connor McDavid back, I mean, that because he was off since the Four Nations faceoff. That's, he went through quite a tough spell. So if you get a refreshed Connor McDavid back, that is worth a lot in the playoffs. He's been there now. He's done that. Kalo said it yesterday himself. These guys have the experience, right? The leadership in that room has the experience.
Yeah, I mean, Calgary, I thought they were okay, but Draisaitl was outstanding and Pickard was very good. Terrible in Seattle. The 4-3 loss to Dallas, they kind of lost in about a 12-minute span, unfortunately. They beat Seattle 5-4 without McDavid and Draisaitl. That game against Winnipeg, they played fairly well. They pounded Utah. They beat the Rangers. They beat the Islanders, again, largely because of Draisaitl. But and Pickard, we got the assist on that in the overtime winner that there too. I think that,
but that's who this team is.
There, and I do think certainly like it was so bad coming out of the Four Nations face-off on that road trip. I think they're steadier. And I know somebody, I think it was Joe's put in the nasty chat. Oh yeah, if they lose in the playoffs, the injuries will be an excuse. Look, injured players are like the expectations change without McDavid and Ekholm. But I'm not saying you just throw up your hands and say, well, I guess we're just going to lose. Like, you still got to find a way to get points.
Yeah.
This will be big tonight. Because no McDavid, because no Ekholm, and quite frankly, and Pickard overall has been a positive story this year. He usually doesn't start back-to-back games. And when he did earlier this season, Anaheim, I mean, the team as a whole didn't have a good period, but he still had one or two not great ones that went in that 4-goal first period. So this is going to give us a little more information about them. Like I've always said, these games still aren't the be all and end all about foretelling the playoffs. But I think that's what I'd like to see. Like, stay in this one.
Well,
like,
come out first.
Come out. Don't give up a goal and fold and allow 4 and 5 minutes or whatever it was in Vegas, or it might have been more than that, less than 5 minutes if that offside goal had counted. You know, like if it's not going your way, at least keep it under control, right?
Yep. Don't let it go off the rails. Come out of the blocks fast and hard and aggressive. Heck, try to get a lead.
Wouldn't that be amazing?
Wouldn't that be something?
Limerick here from Gavin to read at EdmontonSportsTalk.com. It's certainly been a while since I've shown off my Limerick style. I'm no fool. Sour treats make me drool. I don't believe in a river called denial. Pretty good. Gavin writes some good limericks. Yeah, but he hasn't sent one in for a while. All right. The winner of the Hudson's Canada's Pub Mystery Athlete of the Game is
Warren.
Warren wins it, which is very appropriate. Here are the clues for the Mystery Athlete of the Game. 2017. In this season, this player won the Ontario Hockey League playoff MVP and helped his team, Erie, win the Ontario Hockey League. 22. He currently has 22 goals this season. He'll try to build on that tonight. Bear. He was traded for Ethan Bear. Oilers. He played for the Oilers. And the final clue, which we didn't get to, is today is his birthday.
Warren Fogle.
Warren Fogle. Today is his birthday. How about that?
Warren.
So Warren got Warren Fogle. Pretty
impressive.
Good. By the way, we are coming to you from the Canadian Brewhouse Studio. So happy to have them on board as our studio sponsor. How about this? Speaking of birthdays, make your birthday legendary at the Canadian Brewhouse. Epic food, killer drinks, and a vibe you can't beat. Plus, get our free nachos with our app. Book your party now. The Canadian Brewhouse. Our house is your house. We're in the Canadian Brewhouse Studio. Okay, we got still words of the day. We'll try to get to another clip on the Oilers as we move along as well. Do we have any NHL games that are underway? Just want to quickly check. I don't know if we have any current scores. Anything started yet, Koob?
Montreal's up 1-0 on Florida. Buffalo is up 2-0 on Ottawa.
Oh, quick start for Buffalo. Has McLeod scored? It's so morbid in this market, eh? Like you always check how the former Oilers are doing. He has not scored. Alex Tuch, 32 goals. He's a good player.
Columbus is also up 1-0 on Nashville.
Rasmus Dahlin has 14 goals. It's pretty good for a defenseman. Buffalo will not make the playoffs, though. So, if Koob, I'm sorry, I didn't get a chance to watch this yet, but it's on YouTube, so really I can watch it whenever I want.
This was awesome. Koob came out. What's the title of it, Koob?
Breaking 100.
Yes. How could I forget? Breaking 100. Now, what is the style? What would you call this? Because this is you're filming yourself.
It's a vlog.
It's just a vlog.
A vlog.
Okay.
I guess so.
So Koob came out with episode 1 of Breaking 100 last night. It dropped at 8 p.m. I tuned in. I watched it. I thought it was spectacular. I thought it was great. You just detailed your day, waking up, going to get this lesson. The lesson was funny. I mean, that was hilarious. The instructor, God bless him. He he was saying the right things. Just trying to get contact out of the Koob. But, do you think from the start of episode 1 to the end of episode 1 that you can say, okay, I think I can break 100?
No.
Okay.
To be honest, there's a lot of mixed feelings about it because Maddie brought up last week, I think, when I was on the hangout, where he was like 50% of golfers only break 100. And I'm so bad at golf that I think I have to build up those proper steps before I even have that idea of breaking 100. That's the far goal. Shoot for the stars, land in the moon, or land in the clouds, or whatever. Shoot for the moon, land in the clouds is kind of the goal. That's the end all be all goal, but I don't know how long it will take me. By the end of the summer, Reid, you said that you think I could break 100.
Yes, if you get lessons and then actually golf even a couple times a week.
Don't even golf. Forget the game. Just hit the range.
No, I actually disagree. I think you have to play a course.
But the range is more important at this stage.
Work on your swing on the range, get lessons and hit balls for contact, but then also get out there and play. You got to hit in the wild, because then see if you can aim and figure things out and putt when your score's on the line. So yes, I agree. I'm just saying he should play. I think he should play a couple rounds a week. But to really do this, he's probably going to have a lesson or two a week, like a range session or two a week, and play a round or two a week. You can't go a long time without the clubs in your hand. But here's why I think you can break 100. And fair point, because I'm not very good, and my goal was to break 90, and now I might do it every dozen rounds.
No big deal.
But then people remind me, most people can't break 100. But here's why I think you will, Koob, because you've hardly played, but you'll get a swing, you'll have an understanding of the game, and then what you're going to find is, I believe, is that your mistakes will not be as punishing.
Mm-hmm.
You're not going to hit perfect shots, and for you still being a newer golfer, you might feel like you're whacking it around a little bit. But if par for a course is 72, okay, if you double bogey every hole, you're 36 over par, that's 108. But I think once you get playing and hitting more regularly, you're going to find, okay, on a par 3, it's a shorter par 3, 140 yards, you might have an iron where you can hit it that distance, and you put it on the green and 2-putt and actually make a routine par, right? And then now you're still going to make triple bogeys. Maybe you'll still make the odd snowman, but I think you're going to find you might have, for me, when I was playing more regularly, and I was shooting usually in the low 90s. I might have the odd 97 or 98. I might have had the odd 87 or 88. But I was around 20 over par, say, give or take a few strokes. So not great, but I could shoot in the low 90s. And say I shot 92, I might have a 7-hole stretch where I shot 2 over par. So that's where, you might find when you play more, you're going to have a 6-hole stretch that you shoot, maybe you play bogey golf. So to get under 108, that's where you start getting under 108, and then that's why I think you'll get under 100.
I love your optimism, but I don't think you saw me swing a golf club when I was actually playing. I am that bad that I have to take those kind of baby steps as well. If I am getting lessons twice a week, which I'm only going to be meeting with this gentleman Cam Martins once a month, then I'll hit the range twice a week myself, hopefully play maybe once or twice a week is the goal, but it takes a lot of time.
Golf.
It's a lot of time, man. Yeah, I'm not a
now because you are, as you say, you're just raw. I think that's why I think that lends itself more, because you're an athletic guy. When he got you to finally turn your hips in the driving range when you were taking that lesson, your swing looked like a swing. It was oh, wow. But you just aren't making proper contact. That'll come. Yeah. And Mike, the Michigan fan, has put it in the nasty chat. Feel free to reach out to him if you want some help. Maybe he can meet you for a driving range session.
Yeah. Don't ask him for help picking NCAA teams, though.
Oh! Good one. I think you got it. The only thing is you got to keep up with it. And keep up with the recording. It's great. I thought it'll
well
keep
done.
you
focused to have a goal. If you really, Like, I love golf. I know whenever I talk about golf, like, and I even see in the nasty chat, there's some people who are thinking this is, I'm sure there's some people like, oh, I hate the sport. It sucks. I don't watch it. I get it. It can be a bit of a divisive sport, but it can be a super rewarding feeling. Like, and again, I think the lowest I ever got my handicap was 17, and I told you my score. So I'm really, 17 does not mean you're a bogey golfer. Like my average probably still would have been, but even as lousy as I was, and I don't hit the ball very far, when I was playing well, there might be 3 or 4 times around where I would hit a shot and it was like, I actually meant to do that.
Yeah,
like I didn't just mean to hit the green. Yeah. I was aiming for that portion of the green because I knew where I wanted to putt. And you're going to have moments like that. And I look forward to you having those moments. They're not going to be as often as the pros, but don't just compare your slate. That's the great thing about golf. Compare yourself to yourself, make those improvements. Maybe you play the same course a few times and you get to know it and you get to realize, oh, I need to be over here to make this shot, or I know I can't miss there. So I got to make sure I aim there and then deal with the next shot. I mean, it's so fun, man.
It's a beautiful game. And a big reason of why I guess I'm recording it is maybe a bit of selfishness. Like I want to see myself, like how I'm swinging and kind of the build up from that. But it kind of also keeps me responsible for having to, keep at it. Because I could say, oh, I want to get better at golf. But if I skip here and there, I don't really feel like golfing this week or something like that. Can't for whatever reason. I don't know. It's just something I got. No, it'll get.
You'll enjoy it, man. I'm really glad you're doing that.
I've just a couple of people have said this. A tip for practicing that I got from my golf coach. This comes in from Hersey in the River Cree inbox. Don't hit off the mats. Hit off the grass when you practice.
Sure.
It's so much different.
For sure.
And you don't have to go out and hit a full 7-iron or a full 3-iron, 4, whatever. You can just go out and chip in the park by your house.
Yeah.
Just work on short stuff as well, because that's where it really matters, is around the greens. That's where you cut strokes. Once you can get it out and play, it's around the greens that are going to make it up.
Well, and that's the thing. Like, you're obviously going to keep score, and I can't not keep score. I mean, sometimes my friends say, like, "What?" And I said, I can't not keep score. But you are going to find some days you might not shoot the score you wanted, but you'll feel like, oh, I hit it well today. And maybe you just didn't make a putt or two, and let's face it, you might get a bad bounce. You might hit something down the right side. Some days it rolls into the rough. Some days it stays in the fairway. But I'm fully supportive of you doing this, and I think you're going to meet your goal.
Where can people find it?
On the Edmonton Sports Talk YouTube channel, as often as I'll be getting lessons. So maybe once a month there might be an episode out with just the update on what's going on. But there is the baby steps intro video for Breaking 100, because Bryson DeChambeau, a pro golfer, has Break 50. So kind of took the name from that.
Good job. I think you did well. It was good. I watched it with my daughters. It was fun. Thought the video was great. So keep it up.
Thanks, man. Well, when I go chip, hopefully Jablonski isn't in the playground.
Jablonski, don't touch that ball. That ball's in play, Jablonski.
All right. By the way, if you're in the nasty chat, we give us 8 more thumbs so we can get to 175. Nice. That would be a pretty good total for the day. If you have been texting us throughout the afternoon, 780-218-9999, the afternoon inbox presented by River Cree Resort and Casino, featuring Italia Restaurant, home of the $6.99 brunch special from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. on Sundays. Oilers Golden Knights, 8 o'clock tonight. Start of a 4-game road trip for the Oilers. Vegas, by the way, hoping to win and clinch a playoff spot. So there's another storyline. Words of the day. When do we get back?
It's Oilers Golden Knights tonight with Tom Gazzola and Hernan Salas previewing the matchup during the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame show at 7 right here on EST. And there's 10 games on tap, 5 of which are live. Alex Ovechkin scoring his 891st career goal. It's 2-0 Caps over Bruins, and it's 1-1 between the Canadiens and the Panthers. Nico Mikkola tying it up for Florida, while the Blue Jackets lead 3-1 over the Predators. All of those games early or exiting the first period. WHL playoff action. There's 7 games. The Oil Kings look to take a 2-1 series lead over the Raiders, and on the court, Toronto visits Chicago. Right now, the Suns and Bucks are underway. It's 18-8 Bucks early in the first quarter, and it's also 4-4 between the Hawks and the Trailblazers. In the MLB, the Jays are underway against the Nationals. Top of the third, Jays leading 3-0. Elsewhere, at the bottom of the fifth, it's the Rangers holding the Reds 1-0, and the Marlins taking a 4-2 lead at the bottom of the fourth over the Mets. The final segment of the Reid Wilkins Show brings us back on the other side of the break. I'm Zachary Kubusch, keeping you up to date.
Get your fix every single game with the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame and postgame shows with Tom Gazzola and Hernan Salas. Whether it's breaking down the starting lineup, predicting key matchups, or diving deep into the game's biggest moments, Tom and Hernan are here to give you the best insight and analysis in the city. After the final horn, get the breakdown of every key moment, performance, and player reactions. It's your one-stop shop for all things game day. Catch the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame and postgame shows with Tom Gazzola and Hernan Salas, only on Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
Looking for a winning strategy for your retirement? Contact me, Joaquin Gage at K4 Financial, where expertise meets dedication. I will always look for a careful approach to your retirement, ensuring your financial future is secure. From tailored strategies to clear, actionable advice, I'm here to guide you every step of the way. Don't leave your future to chance. Get in touch with me, Joaquin Gage, today at k4financial.ca or email joaquin.gage@k4financial.ca to start planning for a brighter future and a more secure retirement.
Hi there. If you're like me, you like to picture yourself in luxury, even though there's absolutely no way you can afford it. And if you can, well, even better. Thankfully, I picture myself in something that is luxury, but still absolutely affordable, like the all-new Mazda CX-90 from Park Mazda. With the new luxury features like facial recognition settings and quilted detail Napa leather seating, I can pretend to be comfortable with all of my proper settings activated without even touching a button, thanks to Mitch Lewicki and the great staff at Park Mazda. I like to picture Mitch Lewicki as a ninja fighting off evil samurai.
Park Mazda, your dealer for life in Sherwood Park off Y Road, parkmazda.ca.
Your brand deserves more than just a whisper, it deserves a buzz. At the Hive Product Marketing, they specialize in promotional products that bring the buzz. From eye-catching giveaways to unforgettable keepsakes, they got the perfect products to make your brand stand out and get noticed. Visit the Hive Product Marketing and let them create the buzz your business deserves. The Hive Product Marketing, the official merch partner of Edmonton Sports Talk. Visit them online at thehiveproductmarketing.com.
All right, hope you're having a great Tuesday afternoon. Oilers play the Vegas Golden Knights this evening at 8 o'clock. And we had Connor McDavid on the ice today, so he did travel after all. Evander Kane and Trent Frederick also practiced today. Chris Knobloch.
Well, it's encouraging seeing a lot of new guys out there. Obviously Kane has been out on the ice for a few skates now with us, but he's joining us. Frederick, his first skate today, and Connor also. It's exciting times for us, and hopefully we can have those guys within the near future. Whether that's for all three of them for the first game of playoffs, I'm not sure, but they're trending in the right direction.
All right, 8 o'clock game. You heard Koob in the update. Ovechkin has scored, so 4 goals away. He'll likely do it. Maybe he'll do it tonight against Boston, who aren't very good. Buffalo might pass Boston by the time this is all said and done. They might. We'll keep an eye on that one. 780-218-9999, the River Cree Resort and Casino inbox. So it's 7 o'clock. The stream will resume, and we'll have the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame show with Tom and Hernan to set up the 8 o'clock game. We need one thumb for 175, baby, just because it's a nice number to get to. Really appreciate everybody clicking the thumbs today. Mike, the Michigan fan, says, I have shot 73 with 8 bogeys. Golf is such a stupid game. Wow. John Dow says, I have shot 82 twice with a 9 both times on the 18th. My goodness. No, I don't know you, John, but I'm guessing something got between your ears thinking you were going to break 80.
Terrible.
Because if you were on pace,
that would hurt.
That's tough.
That would hurt.
That's tough, buddy. I wonder what course he was playing. There was a thing a couple years ago. We should talk about this next week when the Masters are coming up. It was, I think the thing was, could you break 100 on Augusta playing every hole from 100 yards and par doesn't change? I can't remember if it was 100 or 150 yards. And they found that the better the golfer, the more likely they were to say no.
Yeah.
Because they understood how difficult it was. And I'm a 5 handicap, but I've never putted on Augusta's greens, right? Or I've never had to face the shot that they're facing. We'll have to find the article.
Yeah, you or I, probably not.
No way.
Because those,
I'd like to think maybe I could get a par, and again, par doesn't change. It wouldn't be all par 3s. So on the par 5,
you just have to break 100
15th over the pond.
You have to break 100.
Yeah, I think it was just breaking 100.
From 100 yards out.
Yeah.
You had a good 100-yard club.
I don't think I would comprehend how difficult the greens would be to putt on and stop the ball on, though. We'll have to find the exact article. Maybe it was breaking something else, but I thought it was 100.
Mike, the Michigan fan, not a chance.
Yeah,
he works at
I would think the more you know, right? It's just
I think I think there's something also to, if you could just start putting on every green on Augusta, could you break par? You started on every green.
With a 30-foot putt. Could you shoot under 72?
Could you shoot under 72?
Probably not.
I don't think you could. Those greens are just treacherous.
Yeah.
And it'll be great to listen to the hangout the Monday after Murray, because Murray McCourt from the Ranch is going to Augusta.
Oh, is he? I didn't even hear that. Okay.
Yeah. So it'd be interesting because the camera just doesn't do the elevation,
the elevation and the greens and stuff like that. All right. Words of the day. Here we go, baby.
Oh, that's the
what
yellow
was that?
one.
Is that the conch?
That's labeled old conch. Sorry.
The word of the day with Reid and Jay.
Same yellow.
I'm sorry, did I break your concentration?
What do they got to say?
Say what again? Say what again? I dare you.
Let's find out.
English, do you speak it? Then you know what I'm saying.
Let's go, girls.
You want me to go first?
Yep.
Cynosure. Oh. Cynosure.
Cynosure?
Sure.
That is a tough one because there's a few different ways I could go this. Cynosure. Okay, I'll keep it simple. Sinosure. Is it SEIN? Is it SIGN? Is it start with a C? It does. Is it CIN? Okay, what is it?
CYNOSURE. Cynosure.
Oh, interesting. Okay. I'm going to say this is related to the study of colors.
A cynosure is a person or thing that attracts a lot of attention or interest. As a proper noun, cynosure may refer to the North Star or its constellation Ursa Minor. Women love.
My word for you is
oh boy.
Immutable.
Immutable?
Immutable.
Ooh. Okay. IMMUTABLE. Yeah?
Yeah.
All right.
Immutable.
Well, I mean, immune would be your immune system. I want to say it's something to do with that you cannot become ill from this. A high tolerance to food sicknesses.
No. It means unchanging over time or unable to be changed. My interest in Def Leppard is immutable. But you spelled it correctly. Okay, let's fit in the final one here in a minute.
Oh.
Can you give me one? No, you don't have one?
Yeah, I can.
No, if you don't have it, that's okay.
Hey, you ask, I deliver, baby.
Well, we're out of time.
Punctilious.
Punctilious. Punctilious.
You should be able to get this.
Meaning that you are very, very sure that you're always on time, that you're always punctual. Close enough?
Person that pays attention to details.
Okay, so more than just being on time. So kind of half.
You were right.
Yeah.
Directionally correct.
Yeah. Almost persnickety, but more pleasant.
Oh, you're going to get persnickety here tomorrow.
Matthew Iwanek is in for me for the next 3 days as I got some time off. Great show today, everybody. 7 o'clock, the stream resumes with Tom Gazzola and Hernan Salas for the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame show. We have been in the Canadian Brewhouse studio on behalf of Zach Kubusch and Jay Milne. I'm Reid. Talk to you soon.